Hello, everyone. My name is Katie of the Greenland Quilter channel, and here I am back again on a Saturday afternoon, your time, and early evening hours, my time. And I have lots to tell y'all about, and I'm going to tell you about it at the beginning because then I won't have to hopefully mention it later. I don't know. Anyway, I have a wingman, and it's Teresa Louise, and I'm going to go ahead and have her introduce herself as always. I know this is like a sometimes I think we repeat ourselves so many times we get tired of it. But anyway, she's just going to tell you who she is in case there's someone new in here that doesn't know who you are, and tell you a little bit about her channel. And I'm going to put her on the spotlight so she can show you what she's going to work on tonight. And then remind me to turn the spotlight off when we're done. Okay, go ahead, Teresa.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa Louise. I Quilt Too is my channel. I go live on Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where I do some sort of sewing quilting project, or maybe sometimes we might do a craft. Who knows? You never know what I'm going to do on Sunday. And yeah, today I'm going to do a variety of sewing tasks. Right now I'm back to working on Snowdrift quilt block, and that was from the Sew Sampler box in December, I think. Really cool looking quilt. That's it right there.
That is so adorable. And you know what? I bet that will look really cool in boutiques.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it would.
Use all those vibrant colors and then whatever color for the background, and just let that highlight all the vibrant ones. That would be gorgeous, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
I can't wait to see your finished product though. It looks like it's got lots of fun to make.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty time consuming, but the block is really neat. I really like the block.
I guess I'm gonna have to go to the Fat Quarter Shop and see if I is is that exclusive to the Sew Sampler box, or can we buy
Yeah,
that?
it's exclusive. This is the block.
That is so cool. Look at that. I'm loving it. It's a
It
neat
looks
pattern.
like a spinning flower, it's like a big, yeah. So I might do this quilt multiple times. But there are a lot of pieces to it, and the majority of them are sew and flips,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yep.
and so it is time consuming, but I think the results are just, so pretty,
Yep.
so pretty. So I'm doing that, and then I want to get out some stuff to do a collage quilt, and so I might go over there for a little while where my collage stuff is and start prepping for a collage quilt. So
That
that's kind of
sounds
what
like
I have planned right now for today.
okay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
And thank you for coming on with me and being my wingman again.
no problem.
Maybe you'll need a wingman one day, and I could come help you out on your end too. There's always that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. The first one in the chat today, besides Teresa, was Laura Sup. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Stacy of Create and Relate. I posted the command for the bot to show you how to share your channel. So you are welcome to share your channel as well, those of you that have one. Hello, Robin. Welcome, welcome. Cindy, hello. And did I miss anyone so far? No, I don't think so. Okay, so y'all probably noticed if it comes across your YouTube timeline that there is a bunch of lives from my channel coming up. And I know someone's going to be like, she must be insane, kind of. So normally most of you know I go live Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. That's my little slot that I normally do. The Thursday and Friday one normally start at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and the Saturday one is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But sometimes when you want to either sew with someone or do a, because I'm doing a live podcast Wednesday on my birthday. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Sometimes, with the two people I'm having on the live, the only days I could actually get them on was on days I don't normally go on live. So this is a one-upper kind of like thing, kind of like my once a month so long hand quilting class with Sherry. That's on a Tuesday also, and it's once a month. So that's not normally my live days, but sometimes you have to take what you can get. Otherwise you can't do a collaboration if that's the only day someone can do it on. So I'm going to tell you everything we got coming up. And also, if you want to, go over to my YouTube channel and click on lives or online. I think it either says live or lives. And there's the ability for you to click notification on and just go click, 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 click. And when a few hours before the live, if YouTube's working properly, it'll tell you we're going live. So here's the schedule for this, for starting from Tuesday. We have the live today. Tomorrow, those of you who are paid members, please go look at the community tab because I have something going on Sunday for y'all. All right, so Tuesday, I will be going live with Andy of Crafty Witch. She's a crocheter. And so she's gonna tell you about her channel, about her crocheting gifts. She really likes to make origami stuff with yarn, and she's she's rather comical because some of her little creatures are like, from the scary, how you like watch horror movies or whatever. She likes to decorate some of them up in such a way that makes it look like you're in a horror movie. It's pretty funny. She has a sense of humor, and but she does crochet, and I think she's made a little bit of a business out of selling what she makes. I'm going to see if I can't get her to make me Grogu because I want a baby Grogu. That's what I want, and she knows how to make one. So anyway, she's going to be with us Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So keep that in mind. Wednesday is my birthday. And on my birthday, I have a special guest coming on, and her name is Kristen of Bella's Whisper Farmstead. She is a homesteader, and she just got gifted with an inheritance. Like, I'm like so jealous because it was either her grandmother or her mother. I'm not sure which one. She inherited a very old sewing machine. I think she said it was a treadle. I'm not for sure, but I think that's what it is, along with a fabric stash, the whole thing. So she's going to share that with us on the podcast, and she's also going to tell you about her what she does on her farmstead. She's going to bring a silky chicken in and show you her best friends. She has a group of silky chickens, so that'll be fun for those of you who like chickens. And I like chickens, I'm sure, and I know there's a few in here that are quilters that like chickens too. So it'll be fun seeing these silkies because they're really pretty. And so it's just going to be a laid back interview podcast celebration of my birthday kind of thing on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I will be working on a PMQ. Friday, I will probably more than likely either work on my tulipy that I'm working on, or the magnolia, or both. And then Saturday is the 5th Saturday of the month. And I will definitely be working on probably the channel sew, the patchwork, and the hourglass, along with probably magnolia. So next week, birthday. All righty. So I have some more people who's come in. Oh, look here. Stacy says that Andy of Crafty Witch also does crochets 3D printing, super cool. So there's that. All right. So let me go back and see who I've missed. Robin's in here. Sherry's here. Hello, hello. Uh, okay. Grogu is the best, says Cindy. Yes, he is. I'm so glad that people have stopped, not everyone, but a lot of people have stopped calling him Baby Yoda because he is not Baby Yoda. Yoda is, I don't know what, I wish that Star Wars would come up with a race of what Grogu and Yoda are. They need to name it, label it a race. You know what I mean? Because yeah, because Grogu is not Yoda. You know.
No, they're just the same race.
Yeah, just the same race. Yeah. So you can't call it Baby Yoda because Yoda's a name. Okay, what I'm going to work on tonight, more tool paint. So the other night, y'all were watching me work on the other block. I was working on now where's my book? I was working with the which one? The honeydew block. No, wait, sorry, not the honeydew block. The where did it go? I was working on the guava block, and I got on all four of the blocks. They're wrong. All four of them are wrong.
Oh no,
Yes. So
that sucks.
it does suck, and I'm going to leave them like they are, but I'm going to put them in my little. I have a box with different blocks that I haven't used for anything. I guess you call them. What do you call them?
Orphan blocks.
Orphan blocks. I'm going to toss it in the orphan box, and I'll use them later. But in the meantime, because of that, that means I'm 4 short of this log cabin paper, so I'm going to have to order some from Fat Quarter Shop, and that'll take a little while to get here. So I'm just going to be 4 blocks short to start with, and I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to finish this month 1 and do those and get them done and make sure I don't make any more mistakes, and then we'll go ahead and start on month 2. And by the time I probably get month 2 finished, I should have the papers back to finish month 1, and then we can because from the looks of it, once we do month 2, from what I'm seeing, and I'll show you, we'll be able to put month 1 and 2 together right here. So by the time I finish month 2, I should have the papers. I can remake those 4 blocks because we have to make 4 of these. And so by the time that happens, and I'll have the paper, and I can go ahead and catch up with those 2 because I'm behind. I know that because some people are probably keeping up with this so long somewhere else, and but I'm just taking my time. As long as I get this done, say by I'm thinking August, then I can send the quilt Sherry from no, Sherry with her quilting world. She's going to quilt it for me, and then I think what we're going to end up doing is she's going to send it back to me because I need to bind it. Then I got to turn around and ship it back to the United States. So I'm thinking I should be able to get everything done on this quilt and ready to be put in a box, packaged up very good, and send it to California. And I'm hoping I can have it to Abby by her 14th birthday. And her 14th birthday is December the 17th. So I'm thinking I have plenty of time. That's why I'm not stressing about what happened with the blocks. I can improvise until then. So anyway, and yep, I'm talking a lot, aren't I? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and start working on that. And in the chat, if you're working on something, what are you working on today? We would love to know.
And we have Andrea is here. Hi, Andrea.
Andrea. Uh-oh, what just happened to my, ooh. I accidentally touched something and everything moved. Sherry says, no problem on this end. California, yay. Where do they live? They live in Hanford. So they're like 3 hours south of San Francisco, something like that. I get the directions all wrong all the darn time. They're north of LA and south of San Francisco. I think that's how that goes. But they're like in the San Joaquin Valley or whatever you call that. It's where all that farmland's at. And
Cindy has a question for you.
sure. Well, oh, there it is. Cindy says, Magnolia, is that Chelsea Stratton's pattern? Ordered the paper version in a few days. I think that is Chelsea Stratton. Hang on, let me go make sure, but I think so. Where is, hang on, let me see if I can find my printed out stuff. And I have someone I want to introduce to y'all before I start sewing, because once I start sewing, I don't want to interrupt. Where is the printout of my Magnolia? When you want to find something, you can't find it.
Andrea is working on her hourglass blocks.
All right. Yep, that's what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. Yeah. I'll be working on that and the Magnolia because I need to hurry up and get it done because I think I'm about to lose my partner in crime on doing that pattern. All right. Let me look it up real quick, okay? I actually have the a paper version of it that it came in a subscription box a long time ago, and I've had it for a long time, and I kept it because I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna make this, and then here we are making it. But let me go look real quick.
The Magnolia.
Yeah.
How long ago was it? Do you remember?
It's a 2015 pattern.
Oh.
So I don't know if it was in a, I can't remember if it came in a sew sampler. I'm thinking it's either a sew sampler box or it came in a Creative Notions box or something. Because but it doesn't have Fat Quarter Shop on the back of it, which is the thing. So I don't know. It came in something. It definitely came in a subscription box. I do know that. Let's see, Magnolia.
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
No, it's by Kelly Marshall. That's who it's by. Hold on, and I'll get you a link. Because you can actually download this from Etsy. It was on Cotton Cuts, but they pulled a lot of their, because they showed that pattern on Cotton Cuts actually too, because as you know, every month when we get a subscription box, there's a card that comes inside of it. And let me see, I'll see, I have some over here that I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. So every month in a subscription box, you get this card. And this card is called Designer Spotlight, and it'll say meet so-and-so. So on one of my older cards, way older cards, the designer of Magnolia is on one of these cards. So when I went to look and see pattern was still on the website, because on the back you can pick one of these patterns and you get one of the patterns for free by the designer because you're a subscriber to the subscription box. So when I went to look, when I first started talking about us doing this pattern, it was on Cotton Cuts, but then Cotton Cuts did a purge, I guess, I don't know, a month or so ago, and that Magnolia pattern's no longer on there. So the only place you can get it now is from Etsy. And here's the link for it right here. If you want to go look at it, it's on Etsy, and you can actually buy it as a PDF. But yeah, so I have a feeling eventually that pattern is going to end up being free or something. I don't know. You never know. I do know that there's a couple versions of it, but this version makes sense to my brain, so I will stick with it. Anyway, let me go get my little friend. I'll be right back.
I'll ask her in a minute, Laura.
I don't know if this would be uncomfortable to you or not. Come on. You don't have to stay too long. Okay, cool. I just need to get you in the camera. Since you're tall, you won't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tall enough. That was will be fine.
Yeah, let me move this out of the way and I'm gonna turn the laptop just enough where she, yep. Okay.
Hello.
So this is Hanifa. And Hanifa is the young lady that you've heard me mentioning several times that she takes care of my house and the dogs while I go to the United States. She is you were born here, right?
I was actually born in Denmark, but I've been here since I was, I think, 3 years old.
Yeah, so her mother is an Inuit, Greenlander, and her dad is from Uganda. So her dad's from Uganda. Her mother is a native Greenlander of Greenland. So you want to tell them a little bit about yourself and what you love about Greenland and what you think about Greenland, just, tell them a little bit about what it's like growing up as a Greenlander.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool to think about it because I feel like it's kind of a random place to be in, but I love the nature, I love the place, I love the people, all my family and my friends are here. Hey, get up here.
And Nora's, every time Hanifa comes, Nora is totally mom's chopped liver now. Anyway, keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. I love living here. I've been here since I was 3 years old. I grew up with my brother here, and he's also Inuit. What else is there to say? Oh, and I love taking care of the dogs here. It's very fun. Yeah, we usually go out on the lake. There's like a beautiful place where you can go to the lake. You've probably seen all the picture from Kathy when we go out with the dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
If any of you want to ask Hanifa any questions, you're welcome to do that too.
Does she take care of other people's dogs or just yours?
I have tried to take care of other dogs, but I rarely do that.
My dogs are special.
Yeah, they're very special. They're my favorite ones.
I mean, I'm not bragging here, but I'm just saying. But she really should think about being a house dog sitter. I mean, she's really good at it. I mean, out of all the people that have stayed here, when I first would go home, because before she was old enough to be over here by herself, I had other adults here, and none of them ever worked out for any period of time. But this young lady here is a keeper. Yeah. When I come home, my house is the way I left it. She hasn't been over here partying and drinking and all these things that I worry about people doing in my house. And because when you drink, things happen, and I have four-legged critters here that would be the ones paying the price for that. So she's very trustworthy, and I'm learning her English. You speak all three languages, right?
Yeah, I speak all three languages.
So she speaks Greenlandic, Danish, and English, just like my husband does. What do you think that Danish should still stay in the first position, or do you think they should move English into the second position?
I feel like you should move English into the second position because, like, English, it's more like widely spread language, and it would be much easier to, when you go and meet other people, especially when you meet people from other Inuit people, when you don't speak the same language, but then you can like communicate in English because they also speak in English.
Yeah, English is, when I first moved here, English, remember, you don't remember because she was so little when I moved here. Because I've been here 13 years. And how old are you now?
I'm 20 years old now.
So subtract 13 years from that, and that's the age I first met Hanifa. And Hanifa didn't want a thing to do with me back then.
I was very shy.
She was super shy. She didn't talk. Her brother did now. Nunu did. And Nunu's he's about what?
25 years old, I think.
Yeah, now. So he's so he's a little bit older than her. So he was, bigger than her too. And, when I first met them, and I met them because her mother is a teacher, and I had got hired on at BRR Sarfik to teach English to students who had, it's kind of like what Florida has called the Project Catch. It's where you try to catch students from completely dropping out of school. So BRR Surfing was kind of like a remediation of students who might have quit school or couldn't graduate because they needed to pass certain kinds of tests. And so it was English and let's see, there was English, Greenlandic, and then a mathematics and something else. I think it was science or something. I don't remember, but it was some things that some students were lacking in, and so they had teachers doing it. And her mom was teaching Greenlandic and something else. There was something else she was teaching, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
Yeah, that was a long time. That was like way long ago. But now her mother teaches 5th grade, right?
Yeah, around 5th grade.
Yeah, 5th grade. Yeah, so she's a teacher of 5th graders, and she's really good at it. And so if y'all want to ask Hanifa anything while she's here, she's not gonna be here too long because she's gonna go take a certain noisy person, 4-legged one out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all won't hear her whining tonight because yeah, Hanifa's here. Oh, that reminds me, can you take chicken legs out of the thing and put it out on the counter?
Yeah, I can do that
In a minute.
Yes.
Yep, because I forgot to do that, or she's not gonna have dinner tonight.
So she's gonna doggy sit today?
She's doggy, yep, doggy sitting. Denise says, hi, Katie, Teresa, and everyone. Hello. Please spell Hanifa is what I'm hearing. Yes, you spelled it. Look, she spelled your name right.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
Outstanding, Denise. So, yeah, this young lady, I think of her like one of my daughters. Her and her brother are special. That's all I can tell you, because you know they have been kind to me. When I leave my house and I'm gone for 12 weeks, this young lady does not complain about anything, nothing. Sometimes she'll write me and say, can I go do this? And I'm like, this is your house while I'm gone. Do what you want. Just no drink. Yeah, what's the rule?
Yeah, no drinking.
No drinking, no partying in the house. That's the only rule I have. And the rest of the
So
time,
can they drink and party outside the house?
no. So that means you're going to come in the house drunk, and then the dogs will pay the penalty for that. Yeah, I'm not against people drinking. I'm against what happens when you get drunk. And when you're young, we all know what it's like when we were young. You know, danger. Yeah. What is it called? I laugh at danger. Yeah. So it's just to keep the house safe. Because I don't want just anyone in and out of this house. I'm a little protective of my home, and I'm protective of Hanifa, and I don't want her to find herself in a position where she's been partying with whoever, and some of them might be guys. And I worry about that kind of thing for any young lady, because when you're drunk, you can't always say no. And I don't want her to experience that in my house, because my house is a safe place. And I want her to always feel safe. And she knows that if she's out partying at night and she can't get home, she knows my door is open for her to come sleep on the sofa. And she's done that once.
One time.
She called me, I'm too blah, 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 I can't get home. I'm like, come on, come sleep on the sofa, or sleep in the bed with me. I don't care. And she comes and she's safe until she's straight again the next day, and then she goes home. So, yeah. What is Greenlandic, and is that the history of Greenland? Greenlandic is the Inuit language. Oh, what is Greenlandic? Yeah, Greenland. You're talking about the language, right, Cindy? Everybody who lives in Greenlander or Greenland are called Greenlanders, or they'll say the Greenlandic people. So it's a plural version of
Greenlandic.
So because Greenlandic's also called, the language is called Greenlandic.
Yeah, Greenlandic.
Yeah, but you can also say the Greenlandic people.
Yeah.
So it's used in two different ways. One's describing the language, the other is describing that we're all Greenlanders. But when you say the Greenlandic people, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, we are Inuit, but we can't really say it because, like, it's a wider spread. Because, you know, there's also from, what was it, Nunavut that's in Canada, I think it was.
Yep, Canada.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and they're innate too, but they are, even though our culture and our language seem very similar, they're very different. So Greenlandic, for Greenlandic people, that would be more like accurate to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
I think right now what's starting to happen that I've noticed is that the Inuits of Canada and the Inuits of Alaska and the Inuits here are starting to have communication back and forth so that they can share their cultures with each other along with the languages, because the Inuit languages are similar in nature. They're just different dialects, right?
Mhm.
And Greenland actually has 3 different dialects. They have the extreme northern part of Greenland has the Greenlandic varies just a little bit. But the East Coast is the most one I noticed to be the most different, because the way they sound is way different than how, say, when she speaks Greenlandic or when Nikolaj speaks Greenlandic, I can hear the difference. And so yeah. And is that the history? Yeah. Well, we could have a history lesson here, but yeah, I've already done. That could be all day. We could do that all day long, couldn't we?
It's gonna take a really long time.
Oh, that would take a long time. But basically, the Inuits were all one people at one time. Back in the Saukkoq and Dorset age and part of the Thule age, they traveled together as one mass group, and they migrated between Alaska and Russia. They would go back and forth because they were following with the migration of what they hunted. So it was reindeer and muskox and bowhead whales, especially bowhead whales. I mean, they nearly hunted them into extinction up there. But until at some point when the people split apart in the Thule age, the Greenlanders here of Greenland have been teaching this for 5,000 years about respecting nature, and you don't hunt an animal to extinction. That's one of them. You don't hunt for the heck of it either. When you hunt, you're hunting for food, and you treat nature properly, and you use all that you can use of that animal that you've taken. And if you're not going to use all the animal, you share it with the community. And this still goes on today in the 21st century. When someone hunts a whale, and a whale's generally more meat than one family can eat, they'll bring it into the port. And they don't even have to get on the radio and say anything. It takes one person. That one person tells 10. That 10 people tell the next 10, which before you know it, almost all the town is down there buying whale meat. And everybody benefits from it. And it's the same with any other thing. They separated, they did a really great thing. This was 2 years ago when they split the herd of the muskox, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. They split the population of the muskox in Kangerlussuaq because it had grown big enough, and they shipped half of them down here to a little town called Pamoot. So it's not in town, it's just outside in nature. And now people here in South Greenland, if their name gets pulled out of the lottery bucket, they can go to Pamoot to hunt a muskox, and it's no longer having to worry about paying for flying on a jet to get up north. There's all these extra expenses that you had when you had to fly to Kangerlussuaq to hunt, and then you had to pay for shipping all of that down to wherever it was you were living. And now it's much easier. In fact, this past summer, for the first time in the 13 years I've lived here, someone hunted a muskox, and they took what they wanted of the muskox, and they brought the rest of it down to the fresh market, put it out there, and people came and bought pieces off of it. And so by the end of the day, the rest of that muskox was gone. They totally used all of it. Okay.
That's good.
Laura says, I love hearing about the history of different cultures. Anyone else want to ask her? Because I'm going to cut her loose in a minute. I'm going to teach this young lady how to sew.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
And I think I'm going to either start her out on a jelly roll, because something simple, or we might do the 5-inch these, these, or I might have you sew these together.
Ooh, very cute.
And then so I'm gonna teach her how to sew, and if she's not too shy, maybe we can even do it on camera. But I'm gonna put her on the Singer, which is gonna suck to start with, unless I can buy another. I'm hoping I might just buy a different kind of Singer because I noticed that Bruce had the, I guess I can't think of the name of it, but it's more metal in nature. It's a tougher machine anyway, and I'm thinking about buying that, and then she can come and sew on it to her heart's content because she likes to modify her clothing and stuff. She's pretty gifted at doing that. And so, we may end up going down that avenue making clothes too, because I know she would love that. Because I can buy patterns, and all she has to do is learn how to cut them out and sew them. That's the big thing. Okay. Anyone else? Go ahead.
Do you have a job, honey?
Yeah, actually, I worked over at our local Greenland. It's like a really amazing cafe. And now I'm going to work over at another cafe that's called the Hotel. I worked over at Greenland a year and a half. And I would like to try something more different because I am going to Denmark hopefully soon. And then I want to like as much experience as possible. Yeah.
Good. Things set up you're going for education, right?
Yeah, I still haven't, what's it called, searched after a school, but I'm still looking into it. Yeah.
Y'all help me. She needs to go to school.
Yeah, I just graduated from,
yeah, she did.
Yeah, what's it called in English?
High school.
I just graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, last year. It's been a year, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that. It's been about a year.
Yeah, high school. That's like where you go for school for 3 years.
Yeah, it's the y'all stop your high school a year sooner than ours. We do in the United States. High school is 4 years in the United States. So you have 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. That's all high school. And then you're done with public school. And then you can go on to college. But here, I think y'all have 1 year shorter than that. Okay. And then you can drift over to the 2-year college if you want to, from what I understand.
I thought that what I went to was college, wasn't it?
I don't know. I think
maybe
it was college. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm still not, there's some parts of this I still don't really get really good, but the hotel she's talking about is Hotel Nanok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nanok. But their cafe is amazing. Especially if you want to go have a nice juicy ribeye steak.
Yeah.
But you said you were going to get more paid there too, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get more paid there.
Yeah. So she's testing the waters and everywhere. So, but I'm hoping that she'll decide what she wants to do education wise, because I've been telling a lot of the Greenlanders, one of the, and she'll agree with you this, one of the biggest problems Greenland has is there's not enough Greenlanders in positions like doctors, lawyers, nurses, teachers. The police is you're starting to see more Inuits doing policing, but all these upper things that serve the people, there's not enough of. So Denmark sends these people and they'll stay for 3 months and then they're gone again. By the time you get used to having one doctor, they're gone again. And I've been telling her and everybody else, y'all need to go do this. You need to become a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or something that helps serve the people so that it's more Greenlandic in nature instead of being dependent on someone to come for 3 months and turn around and leave again. It's the same problem in the industry my husband works on. There's not very many Greenlandic men running ships. And I don't know that Royal Greenland has a Greenlandic skipper. All of them are from the Faroe Islands. And so this is something that really Greenland needs to really work hard on, I think, is the native people being in more management positions and running things. Laura says, Katie, my daughter is a nurse and she loves her job. See?
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of nursing. You have, I think, 3 levels of nursing in the United States, or is it 4 that you can do? You can start out like what's the lower one?
CNA? No, I don't know.
Yeah, CNA or something.
Nursing assistant.
Yeah, you have a nursing assistant, and then that next one is she's got more education, but she's still not a registered nurse, but she can do a lot of the nursing things that a registered nurse does. And then you have the registered nurse who can handle medicine and things like that. And usually a registered nurse works, in tandem with the doctor on making sure that patients get medicine. So there's a lot of things that nursing can do and the beauty of nursing is you can start at the bottom, with a 2-year education and be doing that. And then while you're working as the assistant, you can still continue your education while you're working, and before you know it, you have your RN, just like that.
Wow.
So what, so you're interested in education? That's what you want to go to school for?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's sure yet because I
Oh.
want to try taking a break from school first so I can learn what I want to do and explore all the places. Because Greenland, even though I love this place, it's a lovely place. It's a very small place, and it's
Right.
very hard to get out of here because the only way you can get to another town it's by boat, helicopter, or a 3 days walk. And the nearest one, I think it takes like 3 days to go over there, and there's only about 100 people that live in that small little
Yeah,
city.
you're talking about
Igerico.
yeah,
Yeah,
Eagle.
Igerico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say that wrong and nobody corrects me.
I'm sorry.
I call it Igaliku and everybody's like, whatever.
Yeah. But it's called Igerico. You can try and say that.
Igerico.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that K is a G sound, right?
What?
That K-O part, is that a K
Igerico?
sound?
Oh, yeah, that's a K. Yeah.
Yeah.
K with the last
Okay.
two.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, my English, the way, see, this is something that us English speaking people have to learn, that just because you see it this way doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's said. It's like Giovanna, who comes in our channel. Everybody calls her Giovanna.
Oh.
We were talking about pronunciations of names the other day, and she says, and she was where we were verbally talking back and forth, and she says, my name is actually Giovanna. Now all of us have been calling her Giovanna. That's wrong. It's Giovanna. That's what. And then she explained about the banana thing. It has to do partly with her name and because of her love of bananas, and so that's why some people call her Banana Joe. And I thought it was when I first saw Banana Joe, I thought it was something like teasing about something, but come to find out, it has to do with part of her name and because her love of bananas is what it is. Katie, my daughter has a BSN in nursing and works in a NICU. You know what a NICU is?
No.
It's an NC. It's a intensive care unit for newborns.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of what places you can work in the NICU. You can work in the kids set department, or if you're into older adults, like very old people, there's even those, and everything in between. There's all kinds of ways to go with nursing. She says she has a bachelor's degree in nursing. So that's a bachelor's would be a 4-year degree. And then you have a master's degree that's what, 6 years, and then a PhD is 8, I think. But then internship.
How about a veterinarian?
We need a veterinarian.
There's like only they come here one every 2 years.
We haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah, the last time I saw one, I remember you guys, I was taking care of the house, and immediately when Toda still was with us, I made sure he got to the vet.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Greenland's lacking in his veterinarian services. There was my boss's youngest daughter was talking about doing veterinarian school, but this was before she graduated from high school. But now she has since changed her mind, and I can't remember what she said she's going to do. But I think she's going to try. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't follow along the footsteps of her sister, because her sister is in her, I think, either 4th year or 5th year of working on a degree in being a lawyer. And her dad is a diplomat, and Bitsy runs the my boss, who runs the tourism into things here down in South Greenland. And it wouldn't surprise me if Krista doesn't follow somewhere in between, where it's something to do with diplomacy or with the government, how to help Greenland, because we, that's what needs to happen here, is a lot of the Greenlanders, the younger generations, because here, we have 2 or 3 younger generations here that are underneath me, and all of them going to have to start stepping up to take care of.
I wonder if the Greenlandic people would help with your schooling if, like if you did something like a veterinary,
Yeah, I have been considering that. being a veterinarian because I do love animals, and it would be pretty cool to have one in town since we need it so much.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think you would do well with it. You're good with it. She's really good with the dogs, definitely. You just gotta decide when you want to start the education. That's before
Would you have to go to like Denmark or something?
Denmark,
Yeah.
yeah.
you might be able to do your basics though in Nuke maybe.
Maybe, yeah, I think so. They
Some
definitely have
the
a
ones that
veterinarian.
the ones that the like the main core courses like your English or language and math and science and all the stuff that you have to do to become a veterinarian, and then transfer over to Denmark to finish it out. I bet that's what you do, and then you probably have
I wonder how many years,
probably four.
uh, 4?
Probably four, because that's usually what it is in the US too. I think it's four.
I thought it was like 8 years and that.
Oh, I don't know. It might be longer than that. I guess it depends on if I think that it depends on how far you want your education to go. Because some people like getting a doctorate, and a doctorate means that you know everything, pretty much. And I think that I don't know. Well, she'll have to look into that so she can answer that question.
Yeah. Or I don't know, do they have any environmental type things over there that people do? You know, like counting the birds and checking the land, stuff like that. Land management stuff.
Oh yeah. Um,
They have scientists here. I don't know if they're Greenlanders or not.
yeah, I definitely have heard about biology and Inuk and all that, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, that's not talked about. I know that 2 summers ago, the government issued a mandate that you could only catch so many salmon and cods for that summer. And normally they don't even say anything about that. But the reason they did it was because there was a bunch of scientists here all over Greenland, and they were um, doing what you call a study of the cod and salmon population here in Greenland. They wanted to see if the population was staying steady or if there was too many of them or if there was not, like if there was a degradation of the community of the fish, those two particular groups of fish. And then last year we could fish however the normal way again. And so last year, I don't know if you saw down at the fish market, but there was some cod that was, I am not exaggerating, were that freaking long. So a lot of cod that didn't get hunted the season before, they were huge. And yeah, so they do have scientists here. You just don't hear anything about the education of it, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe. Not really sure about that.
I don't know. I guess I could look it up on the new college site and see what they offer there, but there is a lot of different things they do offer that has to do with the um, serving people, taking care of people. Education is a big deal in this country right now, super big deal. These kids can go all the way as high as they want to in education and not have no student loans. Unless they're going to go overseas, like to the U.S. or something, to college, then they might have to pay for their college. But to go to college in Denmark, they don't have to pay for any of it.
Oh.
It's paid for. There's no student loans to be worried about when they get thrown back into the work market after they're done. They don't have to worry about any of that. They can automatically start their business or join a business. They can buy themselves a house because they're not strapped with student loans. Also, when they're in school, from high school up, right? You get paid for being in class.
Yeah, from when I went to, I think it's college. When I went to college, we get paid every month. Yeah, and then we can get a dorm room?
Yeah, a dorm. You can get a dorm room, and you can get but they only get paid if they go to school, meaning they have to be sitting in class the whole time. They can't just come in and say, "Hi, I'm here," and then turn around and leave. That's not how this works. The idea, I think, the reason they're doing it this way is to make sure that students stay in school because it's super important. And so they pay for that. And if they don't have housing of their own, they put them in housing. A lot of these dorms have someone that comes in and cooks twice a day, breakfast and
No, I don't think they do it in the
this
college.
dorm right here. Oh, they don't do it for the college? Okay.
No, not in the college.
Okay, not in the college. It's just the lower grade for that, right?
Yeah, that's the lower grade.
Whatever those dorms was, because
the red ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you live there, and when you're under 18, then you get there, and then you have a what's it called? someone who comes and cook for them in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have a schedule where they all take care of the share room, you know.
Mhm.
And the dorm room, no matter how big or how small it is, you only pay 850 kroner,
Yeah.
which is how much?
Cheap.
Which is like around.
Hang on, I'll tell you how much that
It's
is.
about $100.
A little over $100 a month. Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
my? Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about 100, maybe
Yeah.
$120 or something.
You can like have a 3 rooms apartment, and if you're under, it's like a college. If it's a college dorm room, you only pay. Yeah, just gonna check it out.
Okay, you said it was 800 kroners.
Yeah, you can also try go krona to dollars. Yeah.
I know how to do
I'm
this.
sorry.
I do it enough.
Yeah, okay.
And it was what, 800 even?
From Danish, it's 850.
So that's $123 a month.
Mm.
There's nowhere you can stay for that and get food and room and board and all that. Nowhere.
Yeah. And then if you are over 18 and you don't have any kids, then you get about 5,000 kroners a month. Yeah.
Yep. And that money, and because they're in a dorm and things like that, that money helps pay for that. Plus they have a little extra spending money that they can do on the side, you know, for extra things that they need. So this country really does try to do what they can for the young people and keep them on the right path. And you're always going to have one or two that might fall off that path. And they try to retrieve them as best as they can. You know, they keep going back and say, come back to school or come back. That's what b.wRightway was for. And that program through b.wRightway really worked, because a lot of the students that had fallen through the cracks for whatever reason, family trouble or whatever, a lot of them went ahead and continued on with their education into college. So it does work. It's just staying on top of it's the hardest part. Anything else you want to tell them about living here?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I can quickly say to Denise that I am actually 20 years old, and I wanted to read that one. Please explain that transportation thing. How long does it take to get a ride or a boat, helicopter? And did you say it takes 2 days to walk to college from where you are? No. Okay, so like, there we do have a college here. Like the place here, it's a very small place. There's only about 3,000 people who live here. But like if you want to go to another town, that takes about 3 days walking, but people don't do that. Only in the summertime if they want to.
Yeah, in the winter time you can't even do it.
Oh, but like then you have to take a boat. Or you have to take a helicopter to the nearest airport, but we are getting a new airport here.
We are. Next spring, that runway will be ready for us.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, there have been
has something happened I don't know about?
I don't know, but like they said it would be ready for like 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, there's been lots of stoppage, but they've been on a roll. Last time I saw, the building itself is already, they already have a roof on it. So the airport's coming along. Then there was other comments. She says, I have a lot of education and I changed my major several times before I decided on a career. The first 2 years you can get all your prereqs, which are prerequisites, meaning like math, science, languages, things like that, out of your way, because that's what you can transfer to a university. And get all your prereqs out of the way before you decide on a major or a career. And that's perfect sense, you know, because you might go through the first 2 years of getting all your prereqs and had one thing in mind when you first started. And by the time you get to the other end of your life, I changed my mind. I decided I want to do this because something you found to be more what, you know, in your niche of things. So that will happen. And that's pretty normal for young people. And then Andrea says the prereqs are all the same no matter what you decide to major in. Yes. You're always going to have math and language and history and science is all involved in all that usually. Anyone else want to ask anything?
Oh, and I want to say quickly that even though this Greenland is a part of my identity and my culture and all that, I'm more part of the modern Greenland nowadays. Yeah. So even though I do know a lot of stuff about here, I'm not that familiar about the history
The
that
past
much.
history? Yeah.
Yeah.
What I know, I probably
But you probably know
yeah,
some
but
of it.
well, that's just because I really when I moved here, I didn't know anything about Greenland. Think about that.
Yeah, that's right. That's
I didn't
true.
know anything other than it was the largest island. The only thing I knew about Greenland was it was the largest island in the world and that it had an ice sheet on it. That was the only knowledge I had of Greenland. I didn't know that the United States helped protect it during World War II. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know about the culture of the Inuits, nothing. But I've been here for 13 years. By God, I better know something, you know. And because I love to learn, you know, I went through the Arctic Guide course and everything else because I really want. I'm living here. I'm now what some call a Greenlander. Someone named me that a month ago.
Oh,
I'm now a Greenlander because I've been here for 13 and a half
Cool.
years. And I'm like, I would have never thought myself as a Greenlander because I immigrated here. So most people would call you an alien, which is, I hate that word
yeah.
because it makes it sound like you're something bad because you migrated from another country to the current country you're in, like it's some bad thing. You know, a lot of people migrate for different reasons. I migrated for love, basically. And because of the immigration system in the United States being such that it is, it made more sense for me to do the migration because when we did me and Nikolaj did the research because we had to do research to see what made best sense for both of us on who was going to do the move. It turns out that it was much simpler to go through Denmark's laws about me living here in Greenland, and there was no money involved in it. We didn't have to pay any kind of money for me to immigrate here. If you want to become a resident of the United States of America, first thing you got to do is pay $2,000.
Damn.
$2,000 is a lot of money to have, you know. And then there's, and because my husband is a fisherman, we did a lot of looking, trying to figure out how he could get on a fishing vessel. And it's not simple, you guys. It's not the same as working for this company he worked on. It would have made better sense if I was, you know, if we had made the decision to stay in the US, it would have made better sense for him to work here and come home for 3 months at a time, which is all he's allowed to stay in the United States. He's only allowed 90 days based on the United States law. And if you stay a day past that, you're going to get deported. And so we didn't want to have to deal with all of that. So I migrated because it just made better sense. The first 3 years, I had to do paperwork every year and turn it in, and I'd get a new card. And then on the third year, I requested permanent residency. And now every 10 years, I only have to re-update my card, nothing else. I don't have to go through the same paperwork rigmarole that I was doing the first 3 years. And the paperwork's not that bad. It's just that it requires both of us to do it, me and my husband. And with just renewing my residency, permanent residency, it's just me having to do it so I can get a new card. So it's you know, some countries are easier to migrate to and not have all of this stuff. And the biggest rules they have about immigration here is that if you think you can come over here and live off the government and not work, not happening. That's the rule. You have to work. If you're not, unless you're part of a family unit like I am. I'm part of Nikolaj, and I work in the summer months. That's the only job I have. I came in at a relatively older age, so it's harder for someone in your late 40s to find them, you know, especially with the language barrier. But younger ones, it's easy. They can come in here and learn the language, get in fast, working at the supermarket or working at one of the cafes, you know, any of that can happen. And we're starting to see a lot more people from Thailand and what's the other country? Philippines, yeah. Both the Philippines and Thailand people are working here all over Greenland now. They come here to work, and they are working people, let me tell you. They don't mess around at all. When the bears can't hibernate, they may starve to death in the winter because no food supply during that season. Somebody asking that?
I'm sorry.
Well, there was another comment before that about.
Now let me backtrack here because I missed something. Cynthia says, I watched a documentary a few years ago about how the shortage of salmon is hurting the bears. Humans are catching too many. That's in the United States. That's not here. Humans are catching too many. When the bears don't get enough salmon, they don't hibernate in the winter. That's in the United States. That's Alaska.
They don't
eat fish here.
Polar bears, they eat seals.
Yeah.
They're only
it's seal and sometimes beluga whales if they can get their mitts on them.
Yeah, but because of the climate changes, they are polar bears are an endangered species because they go out on the ice on the winter time, and then that's when they catch all the food, seals mainly, only basically.
Yeah, mainly seals.
Yeah, but because of the climate changes, the winters are getting shorter, so they can't be on the ice for only a short period. And it's very important that they catch as many seals as they can, because only about, I think it was 1 in 10 that they catch a seal, and and there's a lot of fat. So over the summertime, that's what's it called? They preserve it.
Yeah, they build it up.
Yeah, build it up so they don't stay too hungry over the summertime.
And that's becoming an issue here because sea ice is breaking apart too early. And when that's why last year we had a record number of polar bears down here. And
oh my God!
Oh no,
there were okay. I think you were in the U.S.
I was in the USA.
There was there for the first time in probably in 100 years in Kapotok's history, there came a polar bear through this town here. Okay, this is
off
the first
lake.
time ever. Okay, we live in South Greenland. So let's say this is Greenland and this is South Greenland, and only the polar bears stay around here. So, and we're in the south part right here, and apparently there had been a very small polar bear. I think it just left.
It was a young. It was a young male, I think.
It was a very young male.
Yeah.
My theory is that maybe it just left its mother by that time.
Yeah.
But it was early in the morning, and I remember waking up at 8. By this time, I was still at school, and I went through Facebook, and then I just see, what the hell, a polar bear? I thought it was a scam or something. And then I see people, they're like, the whole town was
down there.
Okay, it was 8 in the morning, and I just see videos, people yelling, polar bears! And in Greenlanding, they would say, no. Oh my God. And then apparently, because I slept over me and I didn't want to go to school that morning, so apparently all of my classmates got to see that polar bears, except me, because I didn't want to go to school that morning. But yeah, so everybody were in their cars and they were like honking at it, and they
were trying to scare it away. They ended up shooting it though, didn't they?
Yeah, there is,
because he wouldn't leave. Because he got all, he came off. He must have came from back there.
Yeah, he came
through the mountain there.
I still have the picture of the footprints. Yeah. It went across over the school, and then it went over to the middle of the town and all over to the, what's it called there where the ocean is and all the boats.
Yeah, down there at the harbor.
Yeah, the harbor. It went out to the harbor and then again out to the ocean. And then it got shot. I think if that guy, he was very arrogant. He tried to prove himself. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, because there was a picture of him being arrogant with the picture, but you know.
Very arrogant. I think it was very unnecessary to shoot the polar bear, but it is. Then again, it is very dangerous. It could risk that it come back if it thinks it's a
there was
place
concerns it would come back because it looked like it was hungry. So anyway, I think there was 13 bears down here last summer, something like that. There was the I don't know if you heard the story about the mama bear and the cub that she had. She had gotten off the ice in Nanortalik. Now to go from here to Nanortalik by boat's 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
somewhere about that, and it's like a 20-minute helicopter flight if you fly there. So she had traveled from Nanortalik, and the reason we know about this is a lady was getting ready to go to work, and she come walking out her front door, and she came face to face with that mother and her cub. The mother was just standing there looking at her, and she went back in her house. And by the time she called the game warden and come back, looked out the window, she was gone. So she thought, okay, the bear's gone. And she went on about her business. That bear, within 7.5 hours, had traveled from Nanortalik just outside our town. That's how quickly they move while they're looking for food. It's amazing how much territory they can cover within hours.
Yeah, and I definitely want to say that there has been a lot of misconception about that polar bears. They come into a lot of town. Okay, I don't know if it's okay. We say this is Greenland, and there's a lot of town up here and on the side here, and there's the capital of Nuuk. And there is some guy in an interview that he said that there are polar bears that go to Nuuk. That is a lie. There has never been a polar bear in Nuuk's history. There's been one time in Kapaltok, but it is different for the other places that live around here. They probably see a lot of polar bears more often. I would recommend that you do your own research to know more about this. But yeah, if someone comes to visit Greenland and they start saying all of these stuff without doing the proper research, just remember to do your own research, because there's a lot of people who love to
Spread lies.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's the same about the seal thing. About a lot of times I get tourists to say, we hear that Greenlanders take clubs and beat baby seals in the head to get their pure white coats. No, they don't.
Say what?
Kill baby seals for the skin.
Baby seals?
Yeah. You haven't heard that one?
I've never heard that one.
The rumor was that, and this is something Greenpeace spreads a lot about, is Greenlanders take clubs and hit the babies in the head to kill them, just to get their skins so that they can make things out of the skins. And we all know that baby seals are white when they're born, and Greenlanders don't do that. And this is misinformation that gets spread, and this is what hurts people's economics when people don't research it. Instead, there was this saying when I was working for this convenience store, and the saying was, if you make one customer upset about something, you make them mad for whatever reason, that person will go tell 10 other people about how bad that store is. And so those 10 other people, instead of going and seeing for themselves if this is really true, they assume that this person's telling the truth. And so they'll tell the next 10 people, and then the next 10 people, and then the next 10 people. And before you know it, 100,000 people have been told that that's a bad store, and they lose 100,000 people shopping in their store because of that one person who might have spread misinformation. And it's the same thing with talking about how hunters hunt. If you don't do the research and learn the culture of a country, I know that some of you have seen documentaries about Faroe Island. It's Faroe Islands that does the pods, right? Yeah, Faroe Islands hunt minke whales, and usually they do this hunt once a year, and it usually involves an entire pod. And there's been lots and lots of so much stuff said about it, and people criticizing an island that does this, because they're calling it hunting whales for the hell of it. And when you wipe out a pod, that's wrong. But they do this once a year to feed all of the islands of Faroe. And it's once a year they do this. And I think they leave the offspring out of the pod. They don't hunt them. And if it's a mother with a calf, they don't do that. They mainly get the ones that are big enough to eat. And they only do this once a year. And but they don't sell the meat like Japan does, like all these other bigger countries that have them big, huge whaling ships and stuff. Those you do it so that they can mass sell stuff. But these smaller islands, that's part of their culture, they do it to feed the people, not to make money off of it. That's not what this is, this culture is about. So yeah, anything else before you take off? Because she's been a pain.
Yeah, someone said if Nora's crying because she want to go out or get attention, she just wants attention.
She wants to be in Hanifa's lap because Hanifa's here. That's what this is all about right now. Hanifa's here.
Yeah.
See, Nora considers Hanifa part of the pack. One time Hanifa came by here. This is before Coda passed away last summer. I think she came. You were celebrating graduation. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And I just happened to have the dogs outside, and the kids were celebrating. They were walking down the road celebrating, and I saw Hanifa, and Coda heard her, and she was waving. I said, "They already know you're down here. You need to come down here and say hi," because they were all, both of them, crying out, "Come see us!" She spent 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes with the dogs, and then she went on with her friends. And I brought the dog in. This dog howled for 3 hours because Hanifa didn't come inside the house.
I'm sorry.
3 hours she cried about Hanifa being gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hilarious with the way that's why I said she's like family when she comes in this house. These dogs sees her that way. I see her that way. And my door will always be open to her. You want to go watch TV now?
Yeah. Oh, there is one thing that I would like to mention, because you were talking about drinking, and like I want to talk about the the drinking culture here in Greenland. It's definitely different from Denmark, but it's pretty similar, because all the stereotypes that Europe, they drink at a very young age. It's pretty much the same here.
Yeah, the culture.
Yeah, in the culture. Even though there is a lot of people that drink, it is people in Denmark that drink much more than here.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that are only the few people that are alcoholics. That's the people that they hear most about. That's so not true. But I have I did start drinking at a very young age, but now I'm 20 years old and I actually drink a lot less. I mean, I do go out, but I don't drink that much. And I have learned how to control myself and how to be responsible when I go out and how to take care of myself and my friends. Yeah.
And I'm never going to stop. She'll tell you, make sure when you drink, you're safe.
Yeah.
Always make sure you're safe. You never want to be in a position you can't, because, when you're abbreviated, I always get that word wrong. When you don't have control of your faculties, let's put it that way. Things can happen, especially when you're a girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nowadays, we call that social media, laugh out loud. Misinformation spreads so fast today because of social media. So I just stay off and hang out on live streams or watch Hallmark movies. That's Cynthia. And then Andrea says, she says to Andrea, Laura did, I spend most of my life in some sort of customer sewing. Things are very different nowadays. Yep. And then Cynthia says, I don't like fish of any kind. I told my husband that I would start a campaign to save the salmon for the bears. I was going to make protest signs and march around seafood restaurants. Don't come over here and do that, because then you're going to be in my backyard.
Yeah.
Because I eat salmon, but we don't have a shortage of salmon here.
Nope.
Greenland, remember, I've told y'all this many times, and Cynthia may not have heard this. The one thing every time I talk about this thing is Greenlanders only take what they need. They never, ever, ever overfish or overhunt anything. They don't need game wardens, do they? We have game wardens, but I have never seen a game warden arrest one person for anything, because everybody knows the rules, not because it's a government rule, but because they were taught generation after generation after generation after generation how to be respectful of nature.
Yes, I remember as a kid, people still do this, but I remember when I was a kid, we would go down to the lake, and then there's
the river.
The river.
Yeah.
As kids, every time, I think it's a little bit over the summertime, we go out fishing, and it's so fun. I love it. Can't wait.
Yeah. They'll be down there at the bridge with these, we call them, I think we call them long lines in the United States. It doesn't have a fishing pole on it. It's just a long line with a hook and a little bit of bait, and they're throwing it in the water. It's pretty hilarious.
And I remember when we got too many fish, we would usually let them back out. Yep. But before we did that, I remember one time me and my cousins, we would kiss the fish before we let them go. Yeah.
I have a picture of Nikolaj kissing a fish.
Well, I think misinformation goes everywhere in every country. And before you get all upset about something and pass it on, do some research about it first.
Yes.
I think that is a very important lesson. Do your research. Make sure that, because there are people out there that just like to cause trouble.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's a lot of them, as a matter of
And
fact.
the thing with researching is you don't go just pick one source. You act this. We were taught this in
Right.
high school. That back then we didn't have the internet. We had to go to the libraries, more than one. Usually, I did go look, pull different brands of encyclopedias off the shelves when you were doing your, because we all had research papers we had to do. We didn't just take it from one source, and we also had to write it in such a way that it wasn't plagiarism. So you got those two things going on. So, you have magazine. We used to have access to certain kinds of magazines. You had encyclopedias, you had dictionaries, you know, all these ways of doing research. And the same thing when you Google something, you go do it on multiple sites and you'll discover the ones that are lying versus the ones that are actually making sense what they're talking about.
Right.
And
So-
like Greenland is getting very popular today.
Yeah.
So it is very important to do some research around Greenland so there isn't much like misconception that is going around. And it has definitely gained what's it called? Like since Greenland got popular, it has helped us a lot so we can speak out for all of our problems and what needs to get better and all that.
To answer or to comment on Denise's comment, I'm going to make a comment and then you're going to make the comment, but
Okay.
I'll read it first.
Okay.
It says, if Greenland becomes independent and no longer gets a stipend from Denmark, there may come a necessity to do some things differently to support the country. Okay, here's the thing. That mining will definitely happen. It already is a little bit, but I think they're going to increase that ability to do that. But in 2021, the people of Greenland spoke, and the law was passed that there would be no mining of uranium whatsoever, none. Because if they mine that mountain 2 hours up from us, they will ruin a town that has 2,000 people living in it. It will be destroyed. All of the nature around it, the water, all of it will be ruined. And the other two laws is there will be no drilling of natural gas or oil. And that is because the people of Greenland voted for that law. Everybody did that can vote or did vote. Now everything else like rare earth minerals, things they make computer chips out of, and all that other stuff. Yeah, that will definitely. But did you guys know that it can take up to 18 years to get a mine where it's making money? Did y'all know?
Okay, so the question is, if they become independent, how will
If
they
there may
no
come
longer
a
get their-
necessity to do things different, that's what it says.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's some things they're not going to change a law about, and uranium's one of them. They're not going to do it unless you get a far right group controlling everything and it gets changed anyway. And with the issue of I don't care about nature. But if any of you have been watching any of the videos that's been going on where people have been talking to the Greenlanders, like the news media has been talking to the Greenlanders, every Greenlander just about says the same thing. We love our nature, our country, and we do have no wish to ruin it. So they want to work within the limitations of the environment and while making money. So what do you say about this?
Could you maybe read the comment again? So
The comment says, if Greenland becomes independent and no longer gets a stipend, that's that grant that we get every year, money. It's, what is it? 5 billion Danish kroners. From Denmark, there may come a necessity to do things differently to support the country. What do you say about that?
Okay, so like if Greenland become independent, what's going to happen?
Yeah, what would need to change to make it be able to support itself?
I mean, definitely, we definitely need to have more education on how we can safely take advantage of our own resources.
Yeah,
because we do have a lot of resources, and I don't hear a lot about here. I don't think I hear anything about that. Locals have taking advantage of our own research. It's only people from Canada and all that, and then for people, the locals here, they start working for them. So that, but the thing is that we don't have the people who have experience around that or
Yeah.
dedication to it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And I do vote for that Greenland one day becomes independent, but it's a long way before it can get to that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, even though it would be great and amazing, and it would give us a lot of more opportunities if we, since we could, you know, be more open to all the other places. It's unfortunately we lack the education for it. Yeah.
And then Andrea says, unfortunately, the tourist trade can destroy a country. Yeah, there's that. And tourist, so far, about the biggest thing that we've seen concerning tourism here is, I think it was Ilulissat.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. There was a blockade, I think, in Ilulissat last summer. And here's what happened with the blockade. One of the problems with tourism, especially when it concerns cruise ships, I'm a tour guide. She might do it this summer again. I don't know if you're going to do it this summer or not. I don't know if you just, I don't know.
That's
probably not.
Story.
That, yeah, probably not. But there's a lot of us who tour guide during the summer months. And one of the chief problems we have with cruise ships is a lot of the cruise ships will hire on the boat their own guides. And then they expect to park their ship outside a port, come in and do their tours with their guide, and the rest of us are sitting on our butt not getting paid for anything. That's not how this should work. And the reason they did the blockade in Ilulissat is for that very reason. These ships were coming in with their own guides. So no one in all the tour guides who have jobs that depend on making a living tour guiding didn't get to guide many of the ships because they didn't use the local services of Ilulissat. So a bunch of the people in their boats blockaded it so the ship couldn't even come in. And so that's where there's going to be probably more discussion on this kind of thing, because you can't just expect to come in with a cruise ship and see something of Greenland and not put money into the local economy, because that's wrong.
Right. And those cruise ships should be working with your Chamber of Commerce, your mayor, whoever oversees that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, do they have that?
Well, with my boss, because she owns Sagalands down here in South Greenland, she has conversations with nearly all the cruise ships, except for the ones that had their own hires. But all the rest of them, she like a year in advance. And in fact, I forgot to ask her how many we're getting this year. She knows a year in advance how many ships is going to come through here and which ones we are going to be doing tour guiding with. But there is some cruise ships that come through here and drop their anchor out in the fjord and use tenders to bring people in. And then sometimes these people won't spend any money. They'll come look around, take a few pictures, and then they're gone again. They only stay like a few hours.
Oh, sorry. That reminds me, and it would be so great, like, if you people come here to visit Greenland, but please remember to be respectful of the locals too, because we definitely have noticed that a lot of tourists like to take pictures of children.
Yep.
And that is getting really creepy and annoying. Please ask for permission before you take pictures. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to mention.
And then I saw people sticking their cameras in people, because we all have, like I was telling y'all before, most of our houses don't have curtains on them except the sleeping room. And I saw 3 different tourists last summer up on Princess Mountain sticking their camera up into the window, taking pictures of the inside of someone's house. This is not a zoo.
Yeah, that was definitely very creepy.
It's creepy.
And like, I remember my friend Krista, she definitely mentioned that they take a lot of pictures. I was like, what? They do that?
They do with kids
Yeah.
too, yeah.
And then I was working over at the clothing shop, and then there was like very few tourists at this time, and then there was like a woman and her kid. They came in, the locals from here, and then there was a woman who took a picture of them, and I was speechless. I didn't want to believe that, but apparently
it happens. And the thing with Greenlanders is they're very, and I'll try to find that video, because one of the Greenlandic people that the news media talked to, she put it so well. She said, you may think because we are quiet people, that we are laid back people, that we're calm and we're not loud, that we won't stand up for our country. That was what she was saying, that we would not stand up for our country, but yes, we would. So when you come to a town like this and you see how laid back everyone is, people just assume, well, they're not going to say anything to me if I go and do this, click. What's going to happen is those few people who go click, click, click without permission are going to ruin it eventually, and the Greenlander people are going to put their foot down about it. And then they won't be allowed to take any pictures while they're here, which is sad. Exactly right. People also need people in charge who love the country as much as the general population. We need Greenlanders running the country, not someone from another country. That's what needs to happen here. Greenlanders need to be the masters of their country.
Yeah, that's true.
Not someone from another country.
Mm.
Let me see here. I am talking about.
We might need somebody to come in and help them get to that point, because they need to be educated to be able to take over and run their country. You know, you got to have the education to be able to do that. You can't.
Now, Andrea said, what you just said. And then Andrea says that, she says, I'm talking about bringing in people to places where they need not be, influencing the youth. In addition, tourism changes attitudes and innocence is lost. Yeah, you're right. And then she says, when I was a teen, I lived on an island. As an adult, I returned to visit because I loved it so much. Casinos, hotels, and all manner of tourist traps replaced beautiful beaches, pond. Oh my gosh, yes, you're right on that one, Andrea. And she says, the people of Greenland should have the say. I am from the United States, but you have to have Greenlanders to have the final say. Yeah. I do think that Greenland's going to have to grow a lot. I'm hoping that they'll be able to, because they want to do business with other countries. They want, people to come in and help them get these mines off the ground. There's so much stuff that can go wrong when you're talking about mining, and all you got to do is look at other countries where mining's happened, and then it ends up rich people with all the money, and the country gets nothing. So I think Greenlanders are trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. I know I didn't say that properly, but you know what you mean. Yep, I understand. Yep. All right. Anything else?
Nothing more.
All right, I'm gonna cut her loose, and we're gonna go back to sewing.
Yeah, I hope we're gonna see you guys again.
But I'm gonna teach her how to sew, and then when I get her settled enough on the machine where she's okay, she said she'd be willing to come and sew with me on a live, and I think y'all would love that. The way, if you want to ask more about her life here in Greenland, I'm sure she'd be happy to. She's been to her other cult. What do you call
cult?
I don't know what do you call it when you have two cultures in you?
Biracial.
Yeah, because you're biracial. So she's been to her what part of Africa you went?
That was Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda. Oh my gosh, you showed pictures of Uganda.
Yeah.
So she's a person of two worlds like I am. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't born over here, but I'm a girl of two worlds, and so is she. So she can share a lot about what she saw when she took that was your first trip, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was basically a tourist. I went to Uganda for the first time when I was 18 years old with my family from my father's side.
Look who's here. Nikolaj's in here.
Oh, cool. Hi. Okay.
All right, go take her away before she starts being a pain.
See you guys.
All right, thanks for sitting down and saying hi to my friend.
Yeah, bye.
Bye, sweetie. See you in a little while. All right. Okay. Thanks for the lesson in Greenland history and culture.
You're welcome.
There's ice cream up. Oh, hey, in the second drawer, go down. Yep. You'll see a big bag of chicken legs on the right. It's probably already open. On the right. Yeah. You see that bag? Is that the one I got open? Yeah. Take about 6 out and put it in a plastic bag. The bags are over there in the drawer by the sink.
6?
About 6, yeah.
Okay.
But we're not feeding her 6. She's going to only get 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And they all said bye to you, and it was nice to meet you.
Oh, it was nice talking to you guys too.
Okay. All right. Sorry. It took how long have we been on here now? Oh, we've been here an hour. Okay, we're doing all right. All right. So now we can get back to sewing. And if any of you have any questions that you want me to ask her that you think of, you can either ask them here or send me an email and I'll make sure to ask her about those questions. Yeah, right.
In the fridge or
Put them out there on the counter somewhere, but make sure you put something underneath them.
yes.
That bag might leak, I don't know. Because I forgot to take food out today for her. And Teresa, I'll be right back. I'm going to fill up my cup real quick.
Okay.
Were you fixing to go somewhere too?
Yeah, but I'll wait.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Honey, where are you at right now? Are you closer to us yet? Because they're still sailing. They're going to be in Nuke tomorrow. No, Monday. I am a day ahead of myself here. Today is Saturday, and I keep thinking it's Sunday for some weird reason. I need to go take care of rabbits, and then I'm going to start my barbecue. I'm cooking chicken for dinner. Oh, that sounds yummy.
It does sound good.
I love barbecue chicken.
Me too. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. I hope all of y'all are going to come help me celebrate my birthday. And don't forget to, tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow is Nikolaj's birthday. Y'all drop some happy birthday comments in the Greenland Quilter Facebook group if you don't mind to wish him a happy birthday. Okay, this one is, yeah. All right, let me move this camera back so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, actually, you can see everything, can't you? Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave it at that angle then. I'm far north in Pamu. You already passed by us. And you didn't call? You didn't stop in port to see me, honey? I'm just teasing, by the way. I need to move some of this stuff out of the way. They're wishing you happy birthday now, honey.
Happy birthday, honey.
All us birthday people. Nora is in her element right now because Hanifa's here. She is hilarious. She won't be in here bothering me tonight. You want me to disrupt this life by calling you? Please don't. Because I'm not going to answer the phone. You know that. He was one of them that was blowing up my phone last night when we were on the live.
Oh.
And Hanifa was the other one that was blowing up my phone. Like, I'm going to come, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't see it until after the fact. Nora's in there giving Nora a hard time, or giving Hanifa a hard time, sounds like. It's like, pet me. You're here and I haven't seen you in forever. I've missed you so much. I'm going to be sad when she goes to Denmark for a little while. At least she'll be here for when I want to go to the United States next year, I hope. Wait, I need to finish this first. Hopefully nothing will get in the way of that. Otherwise, I'll have to find a new dog sitter, and I'd rather not. Either that or I put Nora on a diet and take her with me. She has to weigh a certain body weight to be able to fly in the front of the plane.
Oh, really?
Yep, if she's too heavy, it's in the cargo hold for her. And I'd rather not do that to her. If I can help it. And it's so much trouble because there's lots of things that when you have dogs coming from the United States to over here, there's so many extra hoops to jump through. Katie, did you get the chicken legs out? Yes. I forgot to do that earlier today. You know what? You know when I finally went to listen to this, I was tired from all that long live last night. I should have went right to sleep. Do you think that I went to sleep last night? Didn't happen. I tried. I even had the TV on so low I couldn't hear it. Hardly. That didn't help. So I was still awake at 8:35 this morning. So I watched some of Leanna's live this morning.
Yeah.
And about 30 minutes after she started her live, guess who was sleeping? I was.
Yeah.
And I didn't wake up. And I didn't wake up until 4 o'clock.
Wow.
I think I only got up once during that whole time.
Yeah, I didn't sleep too good last night either. I got up at 3:30. And then I watched Leanne for a while too.
Oh. I think I did see you in there this morning, didn't I? Did I say hi to you or
no? I don't remember.
I don't know. There was a lot of people in there. It's hard for me to do that. You know, my other laptop died, right? I think I said something about that. So I was on my phone, and it's so difficult for me to text in a live on that phone.
And then I fell back to sleep.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. I didn't wake up until 8 o'clock when the darn phone rang.
I hope you didn't have any appointments.
No. No. Phone solicitors like to call at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, those are the worst kind. Because you're like, why are you calling me? I didn't ask you to call me. Go away. Oh, this line is so
Oh, I'm super tired. I need to go take a nap.
You
I
didn't
feel
get
like I'm about ready to fall asleep sewing.
yeah, sounds like you're tired because you were up early. Or yeah, way early. I could have slept longer myself, but I didn't. I wasn't going to cancel my live today. I decided, no, we're not doing that. I'm on a roll. My watch hours have finally gone up just a little bit. Finally. That's one of the reasons I'm doing so many lives right now. I'm trying to get my watch hours back up. I don't want them dropping down below a certain level because I'm trying to build it up a little bit, you know, where it'll be stable. It seems like it's so hard to stabilize watch hours.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of other people's channels lately. I discovered something I didn't know you could do. Or do you know that you can see every channel that you've been to?
Yeah, on your history.
Yeah, well, I did. Yeah, but I didn't know. That's not what I mean. Yeah, on the history too. Come to think of it, yeah, it shows everywhere you've been, so you can see where there's this long string of thing of where I watched a whole entire playlist, of someone's channel. I've been having a good time doing that. Like, let's hook somebody else out. It's worth it because sometimes, every so often in these videos, I'll be like, wait, what? Go back and look, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Or someone built a cool block I hadn't seen before. There's this one homesteader channel I watch. I can't think of the name of it. It's something acres, or something like that. I have to go look it up. But she is always cooking in her big kitchen, and she's young. She's probably, I think she has. I don't remember how many kids she had, or has, but she's got a few kids. And but she's always baking breads and making meals ahead, or she's having some kind of dinner party, or she seems to spend an extraordinary amount of time in the kitchen, and her
Yeah.
kitchen is amazing. But the thing she does is amazing. She grinds her own wheat for bread. She has a grinder, and she grinds fresh kernels to make bread with. And watching her, you get to learn. I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. Or just different things she does, and she'll make more than one type of bread. Like one day she made focaccia, and I forget what ciabatta bread or something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. Two different kinds of sandwich bread, and two different ways of making sourdough bread. And she did all this in one video. And you're just sitting there like, wow. Because all that bread looks so yummy. And then her husband comes in and tests, like he came in and tasted the focaccia because she did it a different way. And he's like, this is really good, So it's been pretty interesting watching her. All right, we need to get this put off. This one on. And I didn't get around to cleaning this machine, so if it starts giving me trouble, that means I'm going to have to take it apart and clean it right here on the live. Because it probably still needs cleaning because I didn't do it. All right. Hey, Patricia. I thought you were doing your lives because you love hanging out. Of course I do, Cynthia. Love hanging out with y'all. Y'all are my friends. It just seems like I've set myself up for a hard week with all these lives. And I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining. No complaining. All right. What? In case, let's see. Let me show you what block we're going to be working on. Let me cover the. This is the block I'm going to work on right now. It's called papaya. Solicitors are hysterical. They call me and ask for Mr. Robin. I say he's dead. I've always been female. Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. I love it when I get an email and my name says Katie. And most people know that that's a woman's name. And I get, dear sir. I'm like, really? You didn't even take the time to look at my website. You just assumed a man was running it. All right, so number one is This one. Let's see if I can find that rainbow where I can make it in the middle. Probably not. Well, that one might could go in the middle. Maybe. Nope. Nope. Darn. No, but I could swipe one from here. Because I at least want to do one with that rainbow in the middle. Get a ruler. I'm gonna fussy cut something real quick. Size of these supposed to be. I'm fussy cutting something real quick, you guys.
Okay.
Because I want to put that little rainbow right in the middle of that block. If I can manage it anyway. So 1 1/4. At least I'm going to try to. We'll see if it works or not. Yep. Okay. My mouse. Okay, so this is one. That's going to go on this side. And then we need a white one. All right. So what I'm doing is the center of this is always the hard part. And then once I get outside of the center, it's not as hard. I can't sit through a replay of a video that is hours long, maybe 30 minutes, so I might let it run in the background. But lately, if it's muted, YouTube pauses the video. That's interesting. I know if I'm watching a regular video and I watch it it runs for more than I think 3 hours, then it'll pause, but it does it with music videos too, which I find very annoying because a lot of times I like to listen to music and leave it running in the bedroom on the TV and be in some other part of the house while it's running. And every so often it'll stop playing and I'm like, that means I have to go all the way back in there and restart it again. I wish that YouTube would leave this pause crap for, alone. It should be up to us how long we leave something running.
Yeah.
I am not a quilter, but enjoy watching the process. To me, that looks like a difficult pattern. Actually, it's not real. I don't think it's difficult. It's more because this is a smaller block. You see, wait, let me turn it the other way where we can actually see this better. You see how tiny some of the spots are on here? They're very tiny. And that's because I'm doing a 4-inch block. If it was a 6-inch, it would be simpler, or not simpler, easier. But as far as the how hard technically the block is, it's really not hard. It's just tedious more than anything. And I have misplaced my scissors. Oh, there we go. Okay. What were you going to say, Teresa?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I know, I don't know that I was saying anything.
Oh, I thought you were about to comment on something.
If I was, I forgot.
Okay, can everybody see what I'm doing right here? Let me know. Because I might can drop the camera down just a little more, maybe. Maybe I can
Oh,
try
I
that.
remember what I was going to say. Sometimes, like I'll be watching something,
Mhm.
and after about an hour, a message will come up and say, "Are you still watching?"
Yep. What doesn't make sense is, you know, those videos where it plays rain and thunder, it's supposed to be a 12-hour video or something. You never get that message when it's 3 hours in that, are you still watching? But it doesn't happen on them. So I don't know why it doesn't, but it happens on music videos or movies you're watching or long extended lives, like people like me who have long lives sometimes. Uh-oh, that didn't cut. I think I need to change this blade because I had flipped this the other direction. I think this blade has had it.
Yeah, they don't last very long. Like I said, after you flip them, but you get a little more life out of them.
I got a little bit longer out of them, but now it's being annoying to me because I'm cutting small pieces and it's not cutting it. So I am going to change the blade. And y'all get to watch how simple this is. All right, let's get a blade. Let's see which blades do I want to use. Where's the ones I bought from Amazon? Oh, here they are. Okay, watch what happens here. I forgot to close the guard, by the way. So, yeah, this little clip, it drops onto the tabletop. I have a Costco vitamin bottle that I turned into sharps, and yes, I have the lid. You probably, if you buy gummies from Costco, you recognize the top because it's green. See, so all of my needles and straight pins and rotary blades go in here. All right, so now all I'm going to do is just drop this blade in here. Put this back on the table.
Robin wants to know, how many projects are you working on? It seems to be a different projects.
How many? Hang on. I will have to write that down so I can figure that. Give me a minute. Let me finish changing the blade before I get distracted, and then I'll answer that question.
She's only working on one project today.
Yeah.
So far, but yeah, she's got multiple
Things
projects.
going.
Yeah, every different project every day that she's live. So
Currently I'm doing and now I'm going to have oil on my hands, which means I'm going to have to go wash my hands. So because there's oil on these blades, you have to be careful trying to pull them off. And make sure you don't pull two off, because I've done that before too.
Yeah,
and
I have two
blades in my rotary cutter. And this one looks like there's two on. Why isn't that coming up? Yeah, that one didn't want to come apart. I don't feel like cutting myself, so we'll just get a different one.
Yeah, I put two blades in my rotary cutter one time, and that does not work, I mean,
Nope.
you can put it all back together and it looks like it's okay, but when you try to cut,
it really messes it up.
Yeah, you're like, what the heck?
Then all I got to do is take this, park it back on top of there, push the clip, blades on, just like that. Be right back, and then I'll answer that question about how many projects. But I got to get this oil off my hands because I touch my face too much. Okay, so I have, as far as, let me think about this for a minute to answer this question properly. So I'm working on the Tula Pink one today. I'm doing the Magnolia with Jess. I'm doing Star Climber with Sean. We're doing the hand quilting with Sherry. I'm also doing the channel sew with the charm packs. A PMQ, more than one actually. What else have I? Oh, the 1000 block one.
Mm-hmm.
Am I leaving anything? The Sugary Dew one, which I think I'm kind of feeling a little something about that right now. Does that sound like all of them to you, Teresa? So I have
Yeah.
one, two, yeah, I think it's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 going on right now. And then for every month that has an extra week or extra weekend, or well, let me try that again. For every month that has 5 days on the same weekday, that 5th one I'm going to use for UFOs because I have lots of UFOs. And the reason I have so many UFOs is because when my sewing room got wrecked, I wasn't sewing anything for a little while. Not hardly anything anyway. I mean, I don't even know how long. I know that I didn't sew for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3, maybe, I don't know, something. And then Nikolaj helped me get the sewing machine out of the sewing rooms, and then we had to put it on the dining table with a cover on the table and make sure that nothing fell off the sides of it. And we had to literally try to make sure there was no glass anywhere inside my machine. I found some glass inside the where you have your presser foot plate, and because you have feed dogs down here, I found little tiny shards down inside of that. But now when I've been talking about taking this and putting it on the dining table to take the bottom off my machine, I bet I find glass in there. Bet you anything I do. But it'll be probably little tiny pieces. So we'll see. So that was the answer to that question. The rain and other weather event videos to help you sleep or relax. Yeah, Robin. Yep.
Well, it's been a couple hours, Katie. I need to go lay down, so.
It's been that long already? Yes, it has. So we've been
Yeah.
live 6:30 to 7. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Okay. Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it.
Are you going to stay on? I'll
No,
just
I think I'm going to, yeah, unless they want me to stay, but there's no one live behind me that I know of. I might stay another hour, maybe, and then get off.
Okay.
At least try sewing one of these blocks. But thank you for coming and hanging out with me.
Yeah, it was fun.
And don't
I
forget
really enjoyed meeting your friend, and
thank you for that. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And don't forget about tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. Yep. And I will be running that while I'm doing the other thing you know about.
Okay.
So I'll be on there to say something, but yeah, I can't just, you know what I mean. Yeah. Anyhow.
Okie dokie.
See you tomorrow.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Yep. I think I'll sew for another hour, y'all, and then I'll knock off. That way I can get this block made. At least you'll see this one finished. Thanks for sharing your skills, lady, says Sharon. All right, number 3. Because I don't think there's anyone live behind me.
Whoops.
It's okay.
I hit the wrong button. Okay, here we try again. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay for another hour and then we'll knock off. I need to sew. We need to sew. Lori says she's cross stitching. You know, now that I'm learning how to hand quilt, maybe I should see how I think or see what I think about cross stitching. But man, cross stitching looks scary. Is there? Do you have to do a lot of counting? I have an order to make 12 book bags, so I'll be here all weekend. Wow. That's a lot of book bags, Cynthia. You know, I know you keep hearing me drop little strange comments, but you don't know what I'm talking about. So if you are a paid member of the channel, and my membership's just one price, I don't have different levels because I don't feel like asking people to pay $5 a month. $2 seems to be good enough for me, for because it's doable. But anyway, if I could get away with doing it for 99 cents, I'd do that. But anyway, I have 21 paid members of the channel, and I've been kind of, well, not kind of, I have been remiss on doing something special for the paid membership. So I'm going to have a private Zoom where people can come. We're not going to be live on YouTube or nothing. It's just Zoom. And we're going to sew and talk and have conversation. That's all we're going to do. And it's for paid memberships to come and do that with me. I don't know how I feel about leaving subscribers out of that. It kind of, I don't know, it bothers me a little bit. But at the same token, those who paid money should get something more out of the whole thing too, I think. So I understand that part. And I'm probably talking too much about stuff like that. Because y'all are the best community I have ever seen. Great group of people. And I love all of y'all. And Cynthia said, yes, they should. Tanya says, I used to do counted cross stitches that when I was young, but not anymore. I do both, and cross stitching is easier for me, says Robin. Hey, Linda, I didn't see you slip in. Linda says, I used to cross stitch and knit, but I would rather crochet and quilt. Yep, there's going to be some crocheting on this channel. I am super excited about showing y'all some old subscription boxes that I haven't done what's in them. It's a project in all of them. And I'm going to start the projects because we're going to have a new guest on Tuesday night, Andy of Crafty Witch, and she's a crocheter. And I'm going to bring crochet into my channel because I know how to do that. I mean, you can see the mandala behind me. And I have a book to show you guys I'm so excited about, but I need to find the other book so you'll know what I'm talking about. I've showed the book to you before, but I kind of misplaced it. It's somewhere in this living room. but now I'm the proud owner of a signed copy of Charlotte's Universe. My book is number 55, the 55th one she signed, because she signed 100 of them. I wish I knew how to knit, but I have tried, but it's like having two left hands. I'm a member of another live stream, and he has members Mondays. Do you do the members Mondays as a live, or is it like getting on the Zoom with him? That actually is a great idea, Cynthia, because you could do that once a month. That's a very good idea, actually. I have to come up. That would that could be worth coming up with a new project. Are you on the paid member that you do on Monday? Do y'all have a project that y'all are working to get on together as part of that, or y'all just watch him or her do something? And Cynthia says she is too. I used to be okay. I have an order to make 12 book bags. Read that one. Okay, I'm caught up. Okay, good. Sherry, you still there? Inquiring minds want to know. If you are, what are you working on? What are all of y'all working on? You notice I don't have a poll tonight. I thought I'd give you the night off from me harassing you. All right, looks like I got all these trimmed, and now we need number 5. See, it's coming along. Number 5. So what can we talk about while I am doing this? Let me think. What can we talk about? A live for members only, but last week he started exploring opening it up to let others come on to talk. Until then, it was only him. Oh, bringing other, yeah, that would be great. Having other speakers come on. Yeah. That's cool. Having a live for members only is a good idea too. I didn't even think of that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's actually a great idea. Because not everyone can attend a private Zoom. Especially when you're trying to do it on a Sunday. Saturdays are just totally not feasible because there's too many lives on Saturdays. Sundays is almost as packed up with lives, and most everybody will go watch a live versus sit in a Zoom, I've noticed. And for some reason, I think Becca's doing a Zoom this weekend, I think, but I'm not sure. And I'm a VIP and I need to go look. I've been missing some of the VIP ones. I've been so busy with stuff. Okay, we got that sewed on. These tails off of here. I thought I heard the helicopter more than once today. So maybe we have some mail in the mail Monday, I hope. I haven't seen mail here for weeks. Other than the one I got from the UK. Mail from there seems to be getting here okay. It's everything in the United States is the problem. Okay, I don't need to trim that side, but I do need to trim this side. Okay, now we're doing number 6, which is white. Is that channel stuck? Y'all are very quiet. So that one is a bunch of law nerds watching. That one is a bunch of law nerds watching the live court cases. We have certain judges that we like to watch, and he records the sessions, edits the boring stuff out, and then shows them on live streams. Does he get permission from the courts to do that? His channel is a family-friendly one that I know, and I don't have to worry about hearing a lot of colorful language. Oh, okay, got it. I'm a member of another live. Oh, the live for members only last week. You started opening up. Okay, cool. Okay. Linda says, I'm working on my quilt as you go house quilt. 5 rows to go, and then I can bind it. That's awesome. I hope you'll share your handiwork in the Facebook group, because on the 31st, I'm going to do a trunk show of everybody's handiwork on a live. If you don't Facebook, you can just email it to me, and I'll give you the email address here. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do number 7, which is the white. Katie, I just joined your membership. Aw, thank you, Tammy. I mean, Tanya. Oh my gosh. I appreciate that. Over on my Tanya, on my community tab of my YouTube, you'll see where it says members only post. There's a members only post. There is a link if you want to join the Zoom tomorrow with us. Any paid member can go on the Zoom. Yes, I will. Wait a minute. Cynthia says, I guess Michigan and Texas and some other states allow judges to show court live. The nice part is I can watch court TV without sitting through the slow, boring parts, but I am a law nerd, I guess. And then Linda says, yes, I will share. And I have some more Lego pics of my son's. Oh, definitely share those. He made a marina office of where he works. He searched for the little people so he could have a lookalikes of his fellow work. Oh, that's really cool, Linda. That's awesome. Hey, I have a secret. Is my husband still in here? Because I'm going to tell y'all a secret if he's not in here. Let me see if he's still in here. Yes, I can't tell y'all a secret. Darn it. I know when I'm getting him for his birthday. So when he's not here, I'll tell you what it is. Right now, he's here. We have a couple projects that we're going to be doing together, and so when he's home, we have at least 2, maybe 3 projects we're going to be doing together for you, that we will be sharing with you guys. And one of them, I'm really, really, really hoping y'all will love it. So you got to stay tuned because I'm all I can tell you is you've not seen him do it yet. That's the only hint you're going to get. But I'm hoping y'all will love it because it should be pretty fun and comical maybe, and I don't know, all kinds of things. What it'll start at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it'll run until, hang on, let me go see what the hours are because you can come in anytime in between that time frame. You don't have to stay the whole time, and but if you want to, you can. But if you can't and you just want to drop in and say hi or whatever, you can also do that. Are you on Social Security? Some changes are going into effect next week regarding new applicants. Yeah, you know what? When I have to come home next year, one way or the other, because I have to go in person to the Social Security office anyway, because I need to get my bank account tied to my Social Security stuff so that when I do hit that age for Social Security, it just drops into my bank account. But yep, I saw that there's laws changing. What I'm worried about is losing my Social Security altogether because they take it away. I mean, are we not going to get? Let me ask y'all a question. If they stop doing Social Security, are they going to pay everybody the money back they paid into it? How's that going to work? Because all of us paid money into it. It's not an entitlement because money came out of our paychecks. Will we be refunded all that, I guess is what I'm asking, plus whatever interest they made off of it by investing it? Because they invested our money is what they did. All right. Oh, I was looking for what time the private start, or the private YouTube. Private Zoom, sorry, meeting. Hold on, let me go look. I have it on my Zoom. Uh-oh, where'd he go? Oh, yeah. It's not tomorrow. It starts March 3rd. It's on March the 30th. My bad. I'm so sorry. But anyways, for March the 30th, and it will start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will run to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you have plenty of time to get ready for it. This is for Greenland Quilter members. I don't know why I thought it was this Sunday. It's next Sunday. Sorry. My bad. Like I said, I'm too many irons in the fire. Oh no. I was like, why can't I see Zoom? Then I realized, oh, it's the 30th, not tomorrow. Oh, so tomorrow I actually have the day off. Yay! Sunday and Monday, no lives. Yay! I know I sound a little excited about that. It's because I need to do some housework, you guys. I'm like behind on my house chores because I've been doing nothing but lives lately. Okay, and I'm not complaining. Hey, Hanifa, can you crack the front door, please? Hey, make sure can you put the hook on the door so that Nora doesn't try to sneak out of it? Because if you don't, she might try diddy bopping outside because she can smell Mother Earth. She's very fascinated with Mother Earth right now. Because this, thank you. It's funny when the snow starts melting, her nose goes into overdrive. No refunds. If you're not in the USA, you will not get it, says Robin. What? Really? So they're going to steal our money. I don't know what not being in the United States has anything to do with it because we pay Social Security. So I don't see where that, because that should not affect me because I paid Social Security. They've already threatened to stop. Oh my God. I look for you or Tammy when I start sewing. Hey, Tammy says, oh, okay, that's better for me. Actually, thanks, Katie. Yeah, it's next Sunday, not this Sunday. I'm so sorry. I think it's this week. Maybe I had the fact that, yeah, never mind what I had on my brain. But anyway, our private sew or our private get together, whichever you want to call it, because you don't have to sew if you don't want to, but you can sew if you want to. Because I have some members who are not quilters. So, but they can do other things or they can just sit and chat, which is probably what's going to happen here. Because it'll be the first paid member Zoom I'm doing because I haven't, I couldn't figure out how I was going to do this. You know what's hard, y'all, is there's several people have, several people have several channel memberships. And every channel has, you know, something for the paid memberships. And a lot of things I've noticed when it comes to Zooms and stuff seem to happen on Sundays. So, and then you also have Sunday lives. There's so much, I mean, it's like there's no time, there's not enough time for everybody. So, you know, and so I want to make sure that the paid members know how much I appreciate them paying when they don't have to. I haven't, you know, because I haven't said a lot about the membership till now anyway. And so, but you know, we've got to show our gratitude one way or the other. So this is a good way of doing it. And I always want y'all to know that I appreciate everything y'all do for me. I need to go eat dinner. Was making lasagna. Oh, that sounds yummy. And salad while watching. Okay. Enjoy your meal. Hey, Jean. Hello, Katie. Getting ready to move my laptop. So just come in to say hello and give a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Joy T. Hi, Katie. Hey, Joy T. What's going on? Yep, that's why mine or ours are on Thursdays and random pop-ups. Yeah, I got to figure that out because it's competitive right now. Because not every you can only stretch yourself. People can only stretch themselves so thin, especially if they have more than one membership. Someone's going to get sacrificed because that's just the way of it. If I could just give something away, I'd do that, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so we got number 8 on. Now we're going to do number 9, which is the same color again. So we're going to do this one. Denise says, I am seeing that as long as you are a citizen and qualify, you will send Social Security. Yeah, I have an American bank account, so I'm not even going to have that happen. I'm an American citizen. I have an American bank account. I have a passport and a Florida driver's license. There's no reason for them to steal my Social Security. And the funny thing is, my Social Security is not going to be that big to begin with. You are looking at someone who was a stay-at-home mom for 21 years of a marriage. But in between all that 21 years, I did hold jobs here and there for a certain period of time. So I did build up a tiny bit of a Social Security nest egg. Not much, it's not very much. But from my point of view, some is better than this. And so I just want them to dump it into my ViStar account, and that's where it can sit. And I'll use it every time I come home to do things, you know. It doesn't have to be shipped overseas. They will send you Social Security outside of the U.S. except to North Korea and Cuba. Yep, I understand that. Cynthia says, I'm enjoying the live stream since discovering them a few weeks ago. I'm going to miss them when I get a full-time job. Yep, you're going to have to figure out on your days off who you want to watch the most, I guess. I'm trying to save up money so I can get some hardware to make my lives better where you can actually see down. You know how Becca has a little zoom and it makes the camera go down so you can see things up close? At some point, I want to get to that spot, but I have to save up money to do that. Right now, I'm doing what I have. Cuba knot. Hey, Lori. I need to reread that again, don't I? I am seeing that as long as you are a U.S. citizen or a citizen and qualify, they will send you Social Security outside of the U.S. except to North Korea and Cuba. And then Joy T says, not much. Going from one channel to the next. Saturday is a busy day. Yes, it is. And then Jean says, hey there, Joy T. Robin says, Denise, those checks are for dead people and illegal. Huh? What checks are y'all talking about? Then Cynthia says, yes, I enjoy the live stream. Read that part. Okay, got it. Thank you, Joy T. It does take time, for sure, for sure. It's not cheap either. And I have to have it like exported or imported into here from over there, so it makes it a little harder. Oh, who was it? If someone sees Zaza, tell her to come into a live because I have to tell her something. She recommended a little quilting company in the UK where I could get hand quilting thread. And so I went to check them out because I was discussing how things are getting harder for me to get from the US because of all the BS going on from the administration concerning Greenland. And I went over and looked at their website, and Greenland wasn't on the list, but Greenland wasn't excluded from the list because of the European Union. It wasn't about that. They just wasn't on the list because we're not part of the European Union. We're only part of NATO. And so I wrote to them and asked them if, because they do ship to other countries, and they have a list of countries they don't ship to. And there's quite a few of them. Right now, they're not shipping to the United States. So anyway, they answered the email and they told me that they added Greenland onto the list. And when I wanted to order, as long as I ordered $50 or more, they will send me whatever it is I buy from their website. So I am tickled pink about that because now I might have an alternative place to buy thread from. Because I'm trying to be proactive here. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to keep from getting totally shut down on this hobby. Yeah, I'll track her down, or she'll either show up in one of my lives. She hasn't been in a couple of my lives lately, but hopefully I'll find her in someone else's live. Because I really appreciate that she gave me that information because they were really nice in their email about it. They could have said no and they didn't. Cynthia says, I went to the Social Security website to see if I even have put enough to qualify. Same situation as you. Stay-at-home mom for 23 years, and I got that full-time job and part-time gigs here and there. Yeah, I'm going to get like $379 a month. That's what my little nest egg is. When Social Security kicks in, that's how much I'll get. But to me, from my point of view, that's better than nothing. But that's all us stay-at-home moms get for taking care of our kids ourselves. I stayed at home because childcare is so expensive. And if you get a job that's a minimum wage job, you're just giving them your money to raise your child. So you're working to pay someone else to raise your child on a minimum wage job because you give it all away. You're not making any extra that can contribute to the household finances. So that's why I made the decision to stay home, because it made better sense. Because either way, I wasn't going to have extra money. So why pay someone to raise my kids if I wasn't going to have extra money that could contribute to the finances of the household? So, and I don't regret making that decision. It was a good decision. Did you check out no, I didn't actually, Sherry. Amazon's weird about Greenland. And if the United States Amazon will not ship to Greenland, it is unlikely that the UK won't either. There's something about the fact that because Greenland's not part of the European Union, so they cannot buy much off of Amazon. And Greenland's not part of the European Union for a reason. Giving up fishing rights is just not, yeah. Bye, Jean. See you later. Gotta go, Katie. Have a great evening. You too, sweetie. All right. I've seen her all day. I'll tell her to reach out to you when I go into. Okay, that would be great because I don't know when I'll be in Discord. I haven't tried to log on to Discord with this laptop, and my other laptop bit the dust. So yeah, I'm out of a laptop on top of, which means that's money I'm gonna have to spend. I had to create a business plan to show my husband we could live on his income and me babysitting part-time. He had to see that before he would agree to me quitting my job. Interesting. I was working for Pizza Hut when I was pregnant with my first one. Do you know they fired me because I was pregnant? You know what? And I know why they did it. It was because I made a comment about I was about 4 months pregnant, I think. And the back kitchen floors were always wet and greasy. So we were always slipping and sliding, all of us in there. And one day I made a comment. I said, you know, someone needs to do something about this floor because some of us, if we fall down, we could have issues. And they knew I was pregnant. So they fired me because I complained about the floor. Hey, Pat. Katie, you might want to check with SSA about your first husband's SS. You are a widow, so you might be entitled to that money. I'm not positive, but when my husband passed, I got his. Have you, since you brought that up, are you remarried? And if you are you still getting his SSI or SSA or whatever you call it? Because I wondered if the fact that I remarried, even though Nikolaj's not an American citizen, if I would still qualify for his. Because I feel like 21 years of being a stay-at-home mom, wow, you don't get anything because of doing that. Are you able to continue getting the SSU? Yeah, that's what I was asking about. Because I wonder if the rules change because you're married when you remarry. See, Nikolaj's not an American citizen, so he doesn't even have a social security number. And I don't get his retirement from Greenland either because I'm not a Greenlandic citizen. But now the retirement that he's paying into another retirement plan, which is through his job. That one I'm a beneficiary of if something happened to him first. But the one through the government, nope, I don't get it. Yeah, I know it won't, and I'll look into it because when I go there in person, that's one of my questions, especially the fact that my husband's not even an American. I wonder if that will matter because it might not matter, and I might get my first husband's stuff because you know I should have a right to it. My aunt was married twice and could choose who she pulled from. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I can't pull anything from Nikolaj. I'm really worried about I wish there was someone that I could talk to that would be legitimately be able to talk to concerning because the rules are changing about flying in and out of the United States now with all this stuff that's been going on. And I saw where now Nikolaj's going to have to, not only Nikolaj, me, I'm going to have to add an additional form, even though I'm a citizen, before even entering the United States, you know, because I'm coming from somewhere else. And what I guess my question the other day is there going to be a risk of them deciding they want to give him a hard time when he comes through customs or Homeland Security? I hope not, because he's never had any trouble before. This whole thing could ruin both our days. You might even get a retro check if eligible. Oh, wow. Yeah, because my first husband, his Social Security would have kicked in this year, actually, because it's 67, right? Or is it, or did they move it up to 70 now? Because if he was living, he would be 67 this, yeah, he would have been 67 this year. So he would have been at that age because he's older than me. I think you have been married at least, I think you have to have been, I was married to him 21 years, Sherry. I think you. Yeah. Greenland isn't on the watch list. Let's hope it stays that way. I'm watching Dr. Ed Weir on YouTube. He has a live chat and does a question and answer. It is complex for widows benefits. Yeah. I figured it might be a little bit hard. So I don't think y'all will have trouble traveling to the US. Hopefully not. But I saw where there was some people traveling in from, forget where they were coming from, but the husband got stopped at the border for some weird reason. He wasn't in trouble or nothing, but because of where he was traveling from, but I can't remember where it wasn't the Middle East either. Or Mexico, it wasn't any of that. Hey there, Gladys, how are you? All right, now we're going to go to number 13. Hey, I think we're about to finish this block. And hopefully I did it right this time. Yes, it looks like it's supposed to. Yay! Katie, the best thing you could do is contact Sousa yourself and explain your situation firsthand. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go in person when I come to the States. Because I need to get things, I need to get that took care of. And I've got to renew my driver's license again. And I'm going to try to go ahead and get my passport updated because it expires in 2027 and I won't be making a trip to the United States in 2027, but 2026 is when I'm supposed to be going. So I might as well get that passport done because I'll be there long enough to get that done. Does anyone have any pro bono lawyers that they're friends with? Because I need to hire a lawyer for something that knows family law. There's something that me and Thomas needs to take care of, and I need someone who will do it on a pro bono because I can't afford lawyer fees. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go over to the store. Should I take Nora with me?
No, you can leave her. Hey, can you know those little cheese balls I like to eat?
Yeah.
I want the regular ones, not the ones with bacon.
Yeah.
Just regular cheddar ones, the round ones. If they have any, will you get a couple and then I'll pay you back tomorrow or something?
Yeah. You sure I just leave her there?
She's fine. Yeah. Just leave this gate open, but make sure that bathroom door shut.
Yes, bathroom door shut.
Because she's too inquisitive. Oh, and put the gate up in the bedroom. Because I can't see what she's doing if she goes in there.
And if I'm going to take more than 15 minutes, I probably went up to Spar. Yes.
Okay. Isn't the watch list for Terrace? It wasn't a watch list. He just was. I don't know. I'll find the article and I'll read it to you because he was an American citizen. They shouldn't have even snagged him when he came in. He had gone somewhere. I don't know where. But he was an American citizen. This person that was being given a hard time. And I'm like, yeah. I think. I don't know. I'll have to find the article. I read it. I can't remember the exact. Yeah. I was half asleep when I read it last night. Sherry, I'm not sure if legal aid can handle this. I'll tell you what the issue is. Y'all know that we don't know where Blaze's mother is. No one knows where she's at. And in order for my grandson to have a passport, it takes the signature of both parents. Well, we need to hire a lawyer so that they can file a, there's two things that he can file. You can either be mean and do the abandonment thing, or you can do the other one where it's a missing parent you can't find. But the thing is, either one of them will cost a lot of money to do. And I don't think that legal aid does stuff like that. But I need to be able to get a passport for Blaze. Thomas already has a passport. Hey, she's coming back. Come in here with me. Come here, Nora. Come here, babies. Come here, babies. She'll be back in a minute. She'll be back in a minute. She will. Okay, we got this block finished, so let's trim it up. I never had a problem calling them. Do you have to wait? Yes, but trust me, I call them at least 2 or 3 times a month. Wait, you mean legal aid? Wait, Joy. Yeah, I tried calling the Social Security office, and I've tried it actually more than once, and I would wait and wait and wait until you get disconnected and start again. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do this in person. And since I'm coming to the US anyway, I can deal with it then. I don't, well, he does, but the caseworker that's helping Thomas, she hasn't been able to find a pro bono lawyer. There's not one in that area for some strange reason. because Blaze was born in Florida, so was his mother. Well, Thomas too, for that matter. So I don't know which law will be in effect for that. If it'll, even though they live in Georgia, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem. I did some research, and there is 2 ways to bypass having a second parent signature, but you need a lawyer to do it. Y'all hear Nora fussing, right? She's not fussing about FOOD. She's fussing because Hanifa left. She's upset because she left, because she went to the store. She's coming back. And now Nora's upset because she left. In person, it will be worse. Well, I don't mind sitting in person as long as I get to see, get in. Here's my first blocky. So this one's called the papaya. So now I'm going to work on the next one. In person, it will be worse, she says. Okay. All right. Let's start on number. If you just have questions or at home all day, hang on for a bit and then have them call you back. The thing is they're not going to call me overseas. If I was in the United States and had them call me back, that would be different. But I don't believe they're going to call me all the way over here in Greenland. Thank you. It is a pretty block. And it's cute. You're right. It is definitely cute. These blocks are really, I'm not a Tulle Pink fan, but I am enjoying this. And I think my granddaughter's going to love this quilt because it's going to be pretty. And these log cabin blocks are coming out really good. I'm really happy with them. I just messed up that group of 4. Now I'm going to have to start over again with those. Good thing I have plenty of extra fabric. Oh, stop. She'll be back in a minute. Miss Whiny Butt. Yeah, Miss Whiny Butt. What? Am I chopped liver? Huh? Am I now your chopped liver? Because I know you don't like chopped liver. I know you don't like liver at all. I know. Daddy's going to try to bring you some pig ears home, though, when he goes through Nuke. Oh, stop. Yeah, stop. I know. She'll be back in here directly, baby. Oh. Can you show the block again? Yes. This block is different. This one's called papaya. So each set of 4s are different. So let me refresh you on the other ones. I'm not going to show you the ones that I messed up because I'm going to rebuild those. Where did I put those blocks? Okay, I'm going to we have this one. Well, I'll show you the one I made a mistake on, which is this one. Okay. I made a mistake on all 3 of them. All right. And then I'll show you an example of one of them. Okay, so this one. Okay. This was the first one, which you had to make 4 of. And this one's called Apple Block. Then the second block, which is the one I foobarred, This is incorrect. You can see by looking at it. This one is called hang on. Yeah, this one's called the guava block. So I have to redo all 4 of them because I messed them up. And then the next one, which is this one, is called mulberry. And then the one I'm working on today is the papaya. Hey, Lisa, how are you? So that's where I am on that. But like I said, I have to redo all of the guava one, which just makes me sad, but it's okay. And then I'll just have 4 orphan blocks to stick in my orphan box, and they'll get added to a quilt that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on the same block again. Lisa says, hello, everyone. Doing the rounds before feeding hubby. Is there other lives going on right now, Lisa? Because the only other one I know about is a quilt company. Thank you. I do too. They're looking good. I'm real happy with how they're coming out. You know, this is the whole pattern to this, and I have to say, it makes me think, I wonder what I could do if I use the teaks in this pattern, because I have all the information I need to make it. All right, let me get back to that. I don't want to, yeah, here we go. I watched the replays of earlier channels. Let's see. Denise says, unless you are short of fabric, just hold them for another project. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm not short of fabric. I have plenty of leftover fabric, so I can redo the blocks. I just have to go order more paper because, yeah, there's not enough because of my mistake. So I'm going to order that on Monday and hopefully by the time I finish the 2nd month, they'll be here and I can rebuild those 4 blocks, and then I can go ahead and put all of those together in that 4 block, or in that block quadrant that you're going to build with these blocks. So I'm not going to stress out too much about it. Either way, I have until the last week in November to get this finished, or get everything finished, quilted, bound and everything, and ready to go in the mailbox, because it's going to get sent to California. So I have a lot to get done, and hopefully I can get it quilted. Hopefully I'll be finished with the quilt top by August so that I can send it for quilting, and then it'll come back to me for binding, and then I can put it on an airplane in November, back part of November. At least that's my goal, is to try to do that anyway. is too funny. Hanifa's back, and you'd think that Hanifa had been gone for days, the way she's acting. Lisa, I watched a bunch of very long playlists of yours the other day. I just got to go back and make comments. Haven't done that yet. Because I was watching them on the TV. So I do that a lot sometimes. I'll watch on the TV and then I'll go back and make comments. But I watched a whole playlist, so that's cool. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I just wanted something to drink and then some grapes.
Oh.
I wasn't sure about the Cheetos you got, so I took the receipt with me.
Oh, okay. Oh, the bag?
Yeah, this one. I took the receipt just in case.
As long as it didn't have bacon on it,
There's no bacon on it.
then those are right. Because they have one with bacon on it, and man.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put some here so they're ready.
Thank you, hon. I appreciate that. Hang on, I know this is the boring part. Just bear with me for a minute while I get these papers marked. Okay, now we can get started. I am at Gladys says she's at 292 on subs. Katie, can you go to the library of FedEx, or can you go to the library or FedEx store and copy the paper blocks? I actually have a scanner in there with a printer. The problem is I'm out of ink, and the ship hasn't come for weeks, and there's one, I think as of yesterday maybe. So I'm going to go check out Torque and see if they've gotten their printer ink, because they were supposed to be getting printer ink. That's the only reason I haven't printed them. You know, make a copy and print them, because I don't have ink to print with. That's the problem. But that's a good idea what you just said, Joy T. Now, I could go to the library though. That's a great. I could do that actually, because I know the library has a scanner on their printer. And I only need to print like 6 of these, so I have like 2 extras for backup. That's a good idea, Joy T. Thank you for saying that. I think I'll look into that. All right. You could just copy the blocks at that. Yeah, I have a printer. I just don't have ink. That's the problem. I use a HP printer, but getting a lot of things here in Greenland over the last several months now has been very, 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 very tedious, frustrating, and annoying. It didn't used to be like this. They used to have tons of all this stuff. Now it's been nothing but trouble. I shouldn't have to look up anything on the international end. I retire. I come in an age. I just need to get this paperwork done. I could listen. I tried to log on to my Social Security, and and I had never had trouble logging onto my Social Security. And then some change got made in the last 2 months. I can no longer log on to my Social Security account. It says I must contact the Social Security office by phone or go into in person to have them reset me getting into my own account. That's why I can't go and do anything inside my Social Security account. That's why I need to do it in person. So because what I wanted to do is see if I could just set everything up through the website so that the bank account was attached to everything, but nope, it won't even let me log on to it. I copied all my applique blocks at FedEx. We don't have a FedEx. Denise says trace it with pen and paper and use a light box. I don't have a light box either. Or a glass table. Ink is very expensive. I have an HP printer and it costs $60 for each ink cartridge and I need 4. Well, I use 2 ink cartridges in mine, and yes, they're very expensive, but I need the printer to work. I need ink in it because I print patterns all the time. So, okay, now then, let's see here. We're going to, I want to swipe some more suns off this long strip. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. I want to fussy cut because I think that's going to make the block look interesting. Yep. All right, let's do that. And these extra bigger pieces I can use somewhere else. All right, so we got one. I'm going to go ahead and make the second one while I'm at it since I'm got this up here anyway. Okay, let me see here. Denise says the age requirements for a widow is different than someone collecting. Oh, okay, yeah, there's that I need to talk to them about. SSA did make a big change to the site. You have to get a new ID account. It's for protection and have 2 IDs needed to get it. Yes, and maybe I need to rescan them again and see if that fixes it. Maybe I should use my scanner instead of my phone to take pictures of my ID. I will try that and see if it'll let me on that way. That's a good idea. Let me try that because I didn't think about scanning it on my scanner and then saving it as a picture and then try using that because I was using my phone and it kept denying it. We cannot, it kept saying it couldn't see some kind of code. Oh, this is what it was saying. It says that my birth date didn't match the code, whatever code it's talking about. And you know that black stripe you have on the back of your license? Something about that didn't match with that. Doesn't make sense because my driver's license is from Florida, and it's a valid driver's license. So I don't know. It's just odd how much trouble it was giving me. But I will scan it and try it that way. Yes, I have a real ID. Sorry. Why do you put quotes around real ID? What does that mean? Because I have a passport and a Florida driver's license. I think maybe it was having trouble because I used my phone to take a picture of it. Maybe I accidentally shook the phone or something. I don't know. It didn't look blurry to me, but maybe it was and it couldn't see it. I don't know. I'll try. What I'll do is I'll scan it with my scanner and see if that doesn't resolve the problem. Because it might just solve it. It's not your actual ID SSA, a real aid. It, huh? Real aid is what I was talking about. What is real aid? You'll have to be, because I don't know what. Our driver's license has to be switched out to a real ID. It's the system they're using now to fly. Well, see, I don't even show my driver's license to fly with. I just use my passport, even on domestic flights, because passports are valid for flying domestically. But since I have to renew my license anyway, they'll probably give me one. Joy, can you explain about the real aid thing or whatever it is you're talking about? It looks like you typed aid. It's the system they're using now, and to fly, you have to have that kind of instead of the old-fashioned cheap one. Does the other driver's license cost more? Does your ID have hologram on it? Hang on. No, stay with the NEPA. I don't. I can see funny little markings in here that look like holograms, kinda. There's like 4 of them. And then there's a smaller picture of myself down on one part of it, and then the bigger normal picture. So I don't know. I don't want to show you because then it'll show my driver's license number. Yes, you will get a real ID when you renew the driver's license. I think mine did. Okay, I think mine cost more for the new ones. Okay. Driver's license renewal is not cheap, man. You want to hear something funny about what happened when I went to get my license renewed the last time? Well, it wasn't funny. I go up there because it was time to renew my license again. And the lady says, do you know your driver's license is suspended? And do you know that there's an arrest warrant out for you? And I've been in Greenland all this time now. And I think this was in 2018 when I had to renew. So I've been flying back and forth before then. I'm like, for what? And so she looked and she says, well, because did you own I don't remember what year the van was, but it was the van. I said, yeah, I did. What about it? And she says, well, you didn't return the tag on the van. And I said, the van got traded in on a car because it had my name and my daughter's name on it, and she took it and traded it in for a new car that she bought. So they have whatever happened to the tag ended up with the dealership. And she said, oh, you wouldn't believe the stuff that they had to do to get all that crap off my name. It was crazy. All because a car tag didn't get turned in. Oh my gosh, this thing keeps moving on me, darn it. I am having trouble getting this one to sit still. I'm going to stick a pin in it and then take the pin out. Okay, let me see here. Robin, is that, let me see here. I think mine costs more for the new one. She says, Robin, is it the only difference is the license appearance? I don't remember. I know when I had these license done, it did definitely look different than my old one. Because it had additional sparkly stuff sticking on it. Or sitting on it, I mean. You will need an address envelope that somebody sent to you, your birthday certificate, and ID. Huh? Yeah, there's no star on mine. So that would mean that mine's not got that special thing. But like I said, it shouldn't really matter since I use a passport. But they'll probably put that star on there when I renew the license. Because I have to renew it next year. Yeah, that's not on my license. I'm kind of curious, what about kids who travel on airplanes and stuff? What kind of ID do they get now that they've made this new rule about ID stuff? If they're just flying domestically and they're under the driving age, what happens with that? This is aggravating me. Yeah, there's some little holograms on mine too. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2, now we need 3, which is going to be the white, and it'll be the 2 1/4, so that's going to be the small one. Your passport up to date should suffice, but you will have to be compliant by May 7th, 2025, or you won't be allowed on domestic flights or to enter federal buildings. This applies to everyone over 18 years old. Interesting. So the passport's not good enough, huh? Denise, are you talking about? Let's see. Be sure and read on the Florida driver's license website to make sure you pack the papers you will need to renew the first time you get this. I have a permanent Cynthia, I have a permanent Florida address, and I do have mail that goes to that Florida address. So that's something I'm not going to have to worry about. And that's where I'll have to go to renew my passport too, probably. Because I had to have my name changed on my passport, and I had to do that in Columbia County too. I couldn't do it like in California. I had to do it from, yeah. And it was Florida that I had to do it in. Even though we got married in another country. Yeah, I had to have to get my passport changed into my new married name. I had to have proof of a death certificate from my first husband to prove that I was no longer married to him because he had passed. So there was lots of things I had to do to this last time with my passport and my driver's license, actually, because they both required proof that I was no longer married to the first one. Let's see here, number 4. Number 4 is going to be this one. We married, let me see here. Dang, I have to go upstairs and check. I'm curious now, says Joy. And then Joy says, yes, and specifically Florida. I didn't look up the other states because Katie is in Florida. Yep. Lordy, Lordy, I miss the good old days. I don't know which is worse, having to, all these, being forced to prove yourself when you've been proving yourself all along, we married women with our spouse's name causes more work for us. If your name is not the same on your birth certificate, you have to show the legal paperwork for the reason your last name was ever changed. Exactly. So I've had 3 different last names. So every time I go to the United States, I take both marriage licenses, my birth certificate, and the death certificate from my first husband. They're just, Robin, I just think they're just using another excuse to make it so they can see more about you by claiming it's to protect your identification, but that's not what it's doing. It's just making it easier for them to track what you're doing. The next thing you're going to do is they go, you need to put a chip in your hand. I'm like, no, we're not. The Real ID is supposed to help with that. Yep. Getting switched over from the old one to the new Real ID is work. It's ridiculous. All you have to put together for that first time. Yeah, I mean, you have a driver's license. I really don't understand why that's not good enough. Because you had to use your birth certificate to get your driver's license. Think about that. And proof of a social security number. Yeah, mine doesn't either, Joy. I looked. Who knows if any of this stuff will remain true by the time you need it with the crap happening now? Yeah, exactly. That's what has me worried. What if I can't come to the United States because he makes it too complicated? Because we're an American citizen living in another country. Or for Nikolaj to come visit with me because he's supposed to come because that's what we do, so that he can see the grandkids too and see more of our country. So let's see here. Joy T the Star says you are you and is verified. And mine says not for federal identification on the top. Your driver's license says that, Joy T? Now you made me want to go look at mine again. Oh, I forgot to show you. I can show you my new ID card for my residency if y'all want to see. I don't know if there's something on here. This new ID card is interesting. Huh, interesting. Mine doesn't say what anything about federal stuff on it. Yeah, there's nothing, no mention of it on here. So on my original residency card, there's like this little hologram right here, and of course my picture. But the new one that I got from Denmark this time, you can feel stuff on it. There's like this little code right here, and when you run your finger across it, you can feel it. I know one thing, it's got sticky stuff on the back of it I need to get off. If it's a Florida mandate, if it's a federal mandate, it's for North Carolina also. Oh, not for my license with SSA only, because there are people out there making a living stealing identities. It's not a bad thing, and it's been a requirement for years that they have extended the deadline. Yeah, but you shouldn't have to jump through hoops to prove who you are when you already proved who you are a long time ago. That's why when I travel, that passport goes with me, and I make sure I keep that passport on me. The driver's license is fine, but the passport's more, I don't know. I thought about seeing about if I could get a Greenlandic one because of the amount of time that I've lived here, but the police department says they think I could get one, but there's been some recent things going on about the passports for Greenlanders. Looking more like Greenland passports instead of Danish passports. So they're probably about to make some changes. So I'm going to wait and see what happens with that. Because currently the passports have Greenlandic stuff on it, but it's technically a Danish passport's what it is. Just like my residency is a Danish residency because Greenland is a country, but it is part of the Commonwealth. So my ID has Danish on it, or the Denmark emblems and stuff, and not the Greenland. Because it's Denmark who approves my living here, which is part of foreign policy. We just do the paperwork here, and then the Greenlandic government sends it to Denmark. Okay, now that we've done number 5, now we're going to mosey over to number 6. Number 6 is going to be the white. My identity was stolen in 2009. Talk about going through hoops. And Joy T says she guess she knows what she's going to do this week. Dang, it's good until 2028, says Joy T.
My mom said there's one right outside.
Go for it. Leave her here. Hey,
Yeah.
Just leave her in here because if you don't, she'll go out there and eat things you can't see her eating.
It's probably smart too because she just had a shower.
Yeah, exactly. So Northern Lights is outside. Yay. What I find difficult is when my license expires in 1 year and my passport expires the following year. That's a pain in the butt. It's crazy. Can't believe it's already time to renew my passport again. It's due to be renewed in next year, 2027. But no, not next year, the year after, sorry. But I'm going to try to do it next year when I have to renew my driver's license. Let me see when I had this changed. Let me see when my original issue date was because I had to have my license changed to my married name, and that I did that last time. Not this last time, but the time before. So these were issued in 2017, so 9 years. So that means, because according to this, these were issued in 2017. So that would be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So yeah, so this is a 7-year or 8-year license. Because it says I need to, it expires on 3/26 of 26. Oh my gosh, 26, 26. Ah, that's funny. And my passport says, let me see here. December 4th of 27 is when it expires. So that's why I want to get it done while I'm there next year. So there must be, maybe mine's 8-year ones then. I thought it was 7 years for Florida for some reason. Maybe it's 8-year ones. I don't know, but definitely 8 years will have gone by when it's time to renew it. Hopefully I won't have to take any driving test or anything. Yeah, but everybody flies from time to time and goes to federal block federal building at sometimes. Heck, I've been fingerprinted out for work, so I can work remotely in 50 states. Does that count? What I find disturbing is when because when we come into the United States from out of the country, there's two different lines that come through through Homeland Security. There's the ones for the U.S. citizens, and there's the ones for non-citizens. So the U.S. citizens have a license just like me and a passport just like me, all these things that you're supposed to have. And I have seen racial profiling going on where they were fingerprinting anyone that wasn't white. And I found it pretty upsetting to see that. They were fingerprinting all of them. I come through, they didn't want my fingerprints. Yeah, it was very upsetting because I stood in line for 2.5 hours. And the reason I know that's what they were doing, because anyone who was white, blue-eyed, and had blonde hair or hair like mine, they walked right on through. And it didn't matter whether you were a woman or a man. The rest of them, fingerprinted. I told Nikolaj about it, and he's like, I know, I was watching what was going on because he had to stand in a different line because he's not a U.S. citizen. So he was noticing the same thing I was noticing that day. And he was just, because when we talked about it afterwards, I said, did you see? Yep, I know what you're about to tell me. I was like, oh, so you did notice. He says, I did. Because he said the first time he came through, when he first came to visit me in Florida, he didn't see that kind of thing going on. And then when me and him traveled that one time, we were going to California, I think. No, where did we fly into that we saw that at? I think it was JFK. And we saw that, and I was just shaking my head like, this is BS. That was a long time ago when I saw that. Probably 2017, more than likely. So that's been going on for a while. For the Florida driver's license, you just got to make sure that you have like a bill that comes to your address. It can be your bank statement. It can be a electric bill, a utility bill for Florida anyway, a utility bill, any of those things. So for my permanent residency, mine is my bank account, and then or my bank statement, and then one other thing that I get because of my permanent address. It just got to show that you get mail at that address is what the purpose of it is. Post office boxes will not work. You must have a physical address. Back in the day, people got post office boxes because they didn't want people to know where they lived actually, because you know their physical address. But now you have no choice. You have to show what your permanent address is when it comes to stuff like this. But you're right, the world has definitely changed. It pays to talk to people. You learn so much. Thanks, ladies. Yeah, it's good that we can talk about stuff like this because, you know, some people might not know all this stuff, and it's good to hear it from some people who have already experienced these things. Okay, now we're going to do number 9, which is going to be the rainbow again. In 90 days, no less. Even in a quilting channel, laugh out loud. Cynthia says we are still better off in some countries. For example, you can't just take a vacation to China. You have to be invited to enter China, and we don't have that strict of a policy, thank goodness. There's plenty of countries that you can visit that don't require so many rules. When I came through Denmark, it's no big deal. Well, let's see, I've been to Denmark. I've flown through Amsterdam. I've flown through Heathrow, but I will never, ever fly through France ever again because they are hard on Americans. Trying to think where else I've flown to. I've been to Iceland. I've actually spent the night in Iceland. There's another country I've flown through, I think. I had to switch planes. I'm trying to think where. Nikolaj's flown through Canada a couple times. If I don't get to come to the United States next year because of everything, you know, because things have escalated or whatever, I told Nikolaj, I said, if we don't get to go next year, let's go to Spain and Denmark. We'll go see my sister in Spain, and then we'll go see his dad in Denmark. Because then at least we still got out of the country, you know, to go somewhere. And I know my sister would love to see us, so that would be cool. But she's lived in Spain for 38 years. Did you see all the cruise lines that have restrictions on their ports? No. What kind of restrictions are they giving? Did you see that Elon has found $1 trillion of waste from? That's just crap. Can we not talk about him or the tea? Cynthia says we can learn from other people's headaches. Yeah, this is true. There are countries that I wouldn't fly to. I wouldn't go to the Middle East at all. Too volatile of an area to think about going to. I wouldn't go to Russia. Or I would, heck, China would be fun to see, but, well, Beijing anyway. But I think I would rather go to Japan over China. I definitely would like to see Japan, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I would like to go to see the rainforest. Go on a riverboat cruise. My husband is actually flying to Spain tomorrow. Where's he flying to in Spain? My sister lives just outside of Madrid in a place called Majadahonda. Spain is in the top 10 of the most peaceful places to, most peaceful, no, not peaceful, the most safest place to live. There's 10 countries that are on that list. Cynthia says, I don't think to ask that. I didn't think to ask that much. Oh. I'm a ask you kind of girl. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I always want to know things. I'm not, yeah. Sherry says, see you next chat. Thank you for coming, Sherry. Appreciate you. Captain Stitches is, wait, Captain Stitches on in 5 minutes. Okay, you know what? We're going to end this live so y'all can go watch her. All right. I'm almost done with number 3 block. See? Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you for coming to my live tonight. Have a great night. See you on Tuesday for my live with Andy of Crafty Witch. We are going to be doing the crochet thing. And don't forget to come celebrate my birthday with me on Wednesday evening, or Wednesday afternoon, your time, Wednesday evening, my time. So have a great night. Remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. And you create something from that. Good night, everyone. And thank you for sitting with me this long. I appreciate it. And we've had lots to talk about too, looks like. So anyway, have a great night and thank you for everything. Good night, everyone.